Welcome to Horror Bois. It's a podcast on the internet. I'm Austin, joined as always by
Chris.
Together we are the Horror Bois, and this is an any old podcast on this old internet. No. My friends, this is a horror movie review podcast where every week we review horror media.
Yeah.
We're gonna get right to it, baby.
Yeah, 'cause we're still in the Halloween franchise.
For a few more weeks, baby. After this 5.
Yeah.
Also, want to address the elephant in the room. Yes, the podcast did come out late because we are recording it the day after it was supposed to come out.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Halloween Resurrection. Pre-show notes time. Here we go. We got the director, who is the returning Rick Rosenthal of Halloween 2.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Does it?
I don't know.
I feel like they're not at all the same movie.
They're not at all, but there's a lot of the, using a lot of scenes for previous, I guess the first movie and the second one.
I guess. Then we got our writers, which is Sean Hood of Cube 2, Hypercube, and Crow 4.
Not most people's favorite Cube.
Are you more of a Cube 0 guy?
No, just the first one.
Oh.
Just Cube.
Well, he was also worked alongside today, Horror Boy alum, the late Dennis Hopper of... Oh, wait, no, sorry. In The Crow 4, he worked alongside the Horror Boy alum, the late Dennis Hopper of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
And late Larry Brandt.
Yes, the late Larry Brandt is... No, the late Larry Brandt is the other writer of this movie.
Ah. Well, there you go.
It's very hard to try to figure out how to write those things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Our composer is Danny Lux of Ally McBeal, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Boston Legal, Melissa and Joey, My Name is Earl, Raising Hope, Grey's Anatomy, and Party of 5, alongside Horror Boy alums Jennifer Love Hewitt of I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and Nev Campbell of Scream through Scream 2022.
And a lot of sitcom composing.
Some of those aren't sitcoms, they're just television. This guy did nothing but television. There are mostly sitcoms, but there's a couple that aren't. I think Boston Legal, I think, was more of a dramedy, and, Grey's Anatomy is not a sitcom.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Television Music, apparently. Because there were other ones I didn't write down as well. These were just the ones that kind of stuck out to me as shows I had heard of. He had a bunch of other ones too, and there's a bunch of shows that he'd work on for 5 to 10 episodes. And I was like, I'm not gonna bring up every show he worked on. This is all the ones that he worked on minimum ridiculous. 3 seasons.
Gotcha.
Most of these he did over 100 episodes of, unless it was things like My Name is Earl or Raising Hope that only had 80 episodes. So he only did the 80 episodes that existed.
So he only did all of it.
Yeah, no, you understand.
Got it.
Our director of photography is David Geddes of The Messengers, When a Stranger Calls, the 1993 one, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, 21 Jump Street, and Chili Dogs, alongside Horror Boy alum stuntman Jacob Roop of Final Destination 3 and Jason Takes Manhattan, stuntman Brad Loree of Final Destination 2 and Child's Play 2019, Skeet Ulrich of Scream 2022, and Scream 6, and Lachlan Monroe of Chris's favorite movie of all time, Freddy vs. Jason. No, I said it. It's canon.
It's not.
No, it is.
And it isn't.
No, it is. He loved it, guys. Just go back and listen to that podcast. It's definitely not him complaining about the movie for 2 hours and me trying to be it's not that bad.
No, it's exactly that, actually.
No, I still stand by you definitely had way too hard of a stance on it. But if you want to hear us argue about that, we have 2.5 hours of us doing that with Isaiah just kind of being there hey, this scene.
feel like he usually validates one of our.
I feel like that one he kind of flipped back and forth, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Our
He
production
was there going, oh, well, that's a valid point. Oh, yeah, that's a valid point, too.
to the same counterpoints of arguments. He's like, actually, I agree with both sides. It's like, wait, no, Isaiah.
No, you have to take a stance, Isaiah. That's how this works.
Our production designer is Troy Hansen of Hellraiser 6, Children of the Corn 7, Leprechaun Origins, and See No Evil 2, alongside Horror Boy alums Chalon Simmons of... Probably Chalon, actually. Simmons of Final Destination 3, Catherine Isabel of Freddy vs. Jason, and Danielle Harris of Hatchet 2, 3, Victor Crowley, Halloween 4, and Halloween 5.
Nice.
Our special makeup effects creator is Gary J. Tunnicliffe of Children of the Corn 2 and 4, Candyman 1 and 3, Hellraisers 3 through 10, Pulse 1 through 3, My Bloody Valentine 2009, The Collector and Collection, and also is a Horror Boy alum for Wishmaster, Curse of Michael Myers, and Scriform.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's only done a little work.
Just a little bit, and probably more that I didn't mention.
Yeah.
Our special effects coordinator is Kim Mortensen of Hellraiser 6 and Blair Witch. And that is not Blair Witch Project, that's Blair Witch, the 2016 film.
Yeah.
Stunt coordinator is the returning Donna Keegan. And our co-stunt coordinator is Horror Boy alum Brad Lurie of Final Destination 2 and Child's Play 19. I already mentioned him earlier, but now that he's getting his official credit here, and that was like the with someone, I thought I'd mention what he did both times. Our visual effects studios are IO Film, Neo Digital Imaging, and the Horror Boy alums Amalgamated Pixels of the Final Destination, Digital Dimension of Final Destination 2 and 3, and Freddy vs. Jason, Computer Cafe of Wishmaster, and once.
I guess Computer Cafe changed to
Cafe
Cafe
they
FX
changed their
DFP.
and then they changed their name to Cafe FX for the Final Destination. Our visual effects supervisor is Horror Boy alum Jameson Goy of Scriform, Santa Slay, and Delirium.
Nice.
The 3 greatest movies of all time. I like actually all 3 of those, but they are probably not movies people would consider the greatest movies of all time. I'll be honest.
No,
I don't
they
know.
are.
I'll
Well,
be
2
honest.
of those are solid.
How dare you? Santa Slay is amazing.
Certainly something.
It was a fun time, and that's all that matters.
It was fun. Can't deny.
Exactly. It's time for this part of this podcast. I really just wish we didn't do anymore. I hate it. I'm never gonna say it again. So I guess if you want to say it, you can.
Oh, what? Horror Boys Theater?
Yeah, that thing. We're gonna do the
Horror Boys Theater.
breakdown. See, I'm not gonna make it a big bit. I don't care. I don't care about
Horror Boys Theater.
So I'm not gonna say it a bunch of times. There's no point in making Chris say
Horror Boys Theater.
because I think it's stupid. Just kind of love it. But I will be playing Nurse Wells, Harold, Franklin, Mixter, Jen, Rudy, Miles, Donna, Freddy, Charlie, News Reporter 1 and 3, Letter Sweater Guy, Teen Party Guy, Fireman, and The Orderly.
And I will be playing, of course, the returning Lori.
Spoiler.
No,
Maybe
not
it's
really.
a different Lori. They don't know it's returning.
Nurse Phillips, Willie, Sarah, Aaron, Scott, Bill, Jim, other average white guy name, Nora. No, that's not.
That's the other average white guy named Nora? It was weird because
No.
You said it after Jim, not before, which implied that the next thing you were gonna say was it.
Jim, Bob.
No, there's no Bob. Nora.
Yeah, Nora, teen girl number 2.
Thank you.
French maid, who I don't remember at all.
I believe she's
News
just a
Reporter
random
2.
part. She's a party goer.
And the coroner.
Yes, the coroner. All right, without any further ado, we open with the Halloween theme playing over our opening credits. Yep.
There you go.
Too much. We don't want to
Imagine
get
that.
sued.
Yeah. That's all you get. Sorry, guys.
Not copyright stricken. Sued. Because it's just so bad. They're like, no, you can't. You putting this out there and say that that's the Halloween theme.
I don't think it's nearly that bad.
We cut to a POV shot, possibly of the killer variety.
Ah!
It's a shot moving down one of those boiler room tunnels, like in Curse of Michael Myers, that I'm sure might have a name. They're probably just boiler room, but it's like weird. I've never seen them except for in movies. These like boiler room tunnels.
Yeah. Well, we're not exactly the guys who would typically go into a boiler room.
What are you talking about? I spent my whole life in the boiler room tunnels.
All right, Freddy.
And that's why I call them the boiler room tunnels. Because that's the official name we in the boiler room tunnels came up for them.
So while we're in the boiler room
Laurie,
tunnels,
we get a voiceover of Laurie, and Laurie is played by the returning Jamie Lee Curtis.
Laurie says, "You've heard of the tunnel, the one we all go through sooner or later."
We transition to a shot of a hallway in a mental asylum. The POV is walking
that hall. I said, that tunnel. In the mental asylum, we all end up in one day.
Yeah. The POV is walking towards a room at the end of the hall. It passes a few mental patients, including one randomly holding a rat. Just thought to mention, I don't know why this mental patient is allowed to hold a rat. I mean, I guess it is maybe not real, but still.
At the end, there's a door. And waiting for you on the other side of that door is either heaven or hell. This is that door.
The POV shot then heads through the porthole window into the room where we see Laurie sitting almost comatose with a tear running down her cheek. We cut to an establishing shot outside to show us that we are at the Grace Anderson Sanitarium before cutting back inside to two nurses walking with a medicine cart. Nurse Wells is played by the late Lorena Gale. Of Fly 2, Visiting Hours, Butterfly Effect, Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, Agent Cody Banks, and Slither, alongside Horror Boy alums, stunt coordinator Scott J. Atia of Freddy vs. Jason, stuntman and actor Michael Dopude of Final Destination 5, special makeup effects artist Toby Lindala of Final Destination 3 and Final Destination 5, special makeup effects artist Todd Masters of Nightmare on Elm Street 5 and Child's Play 2019, Dustin Milligan of Final Destination 3, Lloyd Kaufman of Hatchet 2, and Rob Zombie for his music video In Idle Hands.
Yeah.
He is a Horror Boy alum. We see him in that movie.
Technically speaking. He will be, very officially speaking,
next
pretty
week.
soon. Yeah, very, very, very soon. Nurse Phillips is played by Marissa Rudiak.
Yep. Nurse Wells is more experienced, while Nurse Phillips is new to the facility.
Am I Nurse Phillips?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I didn't remember. Why is this patient in lockdown? Is Nurse Phillips a man? I don't remember.
They're both women.
Okay, cool.
You definitely gave her a little bit more of an older... She's very, young looking, but it's fine. It works.
No, she's just got a really nasally New York voice for some reason.
I don't remember that from the movie, but okay. If you say... You're probably right. I
don't remember most of this movie, I'll be honest with you.
Oh. I remember it, because I just finished
Except for the part with Busta Rhymes.
Ah, yes.
Because how do you forget Busta Rhymes?
How can you forget Busta Rhymes? Nurse Wells, who I will be playing, says... They didn't tell you about Laurie Strode?
No.
You must have heard of her. Sister of Michael Myers?
Michael Myers the serial killer?
Oh. Well, you'll hear all the gossip soon enough. For now, let's just get...
No, wait. Tell me about it.
She decapitated a man. We see a flashback of H2O with new color grading, as well as some new footage. Throughout
H20, Austin. It's H20, jeez.
Throughout this exposition/retcon conversation.
Yeah. Oh my god, why?
Actually, I want to pause right there. I wrote that just forgetting like the little side notes I learned while rewatching it, like rehearing like behind the scenes stuff. I will argue it is technically not a retcon at all, and I'll explain at the end. You'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. So, oh my god, why? Now I say, Halloween 3 years ago, 20 years after the first murders, her brother finally found her, tracked her down to a school where she was working. There were several murders, lots of confusion. Here's our first, I say retcon, but once again, we'll explain after, not. Retcon footage of Michael attacking a paramedic after his fall, and switching clothes with him. Philip says.
Philip says, oh my god, she killed the wrong person.
Father of 3. I'm
well,
doing
why
your
didn't
voice
the paramedics...
now. I'm now
why
you.
That's my voice. That's not you. I'm not even this voice. My actual character has a very normal female voice. Doing that is very hard when you're doing 5 other women with normal voices.
Yeah.
Why did the paramedic say something?
We cut to retcon footage. Once again, not retcon footage, but I'm just too lazy to not just read exactly what I've written. Showing Michael crush the windpipe of the paramedic. His larynx had been crushed. Don't let on you know. Wells then opens Laurie's door. Philip says,
hello, Miss Strode. Did you enjoy your dinner?
Laurie doesn't respond and just stares out the window. She hasn't said a word in years. Extreme dissociative disorder.
Real. I mean, huh?
Wells gives Laurie her pills for the day and continues. The doctors think she's a word we can't say on YouTube, or at least I've heard it's a banned word on the banned word list, but I hear other creators say it, so I'm not sure. Threat.
Yeah.
They found her up on the roof more than once. Must be the guilt. Now all she does is stare out that window. God knows what she sees out there. After the nurses leave, Laurie starts moving around and spits out the pills and puts them in the back of the Raggedy Ann doll she's been holding. There's a bunch of the pills already in the doll. Oh.
True.
Yeah. Laurie then stands up and looks out the window. She sees Michael in the lawn of the hospital. But then, he disappears.
Yeah.
And one of those shots that I'm not even going to blame this movie for it because it's just a classic horror movie shot
Halloween
that makes no sense.
Cliche.
Just not. It's how the other ones normally do it a little better. This one, and I've seen a lot of. There is no actual time for him to disappear because the shot just switches to her watching him. She never breaks eye contact. Yet when we, the audience, cut back,
go back,
gone.
And then he's gone.
And it's like, so where did he go?
What? She just watched him run away?
Yeah, or she watched him literally phase from existence. One of the two.
Which would be objectively more terrifying than what?
I mean, it would be. Well, he doesn't run though, too. He'd just be walking. We should be catching the back of him as he's like, "Sorry, I'm trying to leave the shot."
Hold on, guys. We'll get there. But also, he doesn't say anything, so he just awkwardly waves as he waddles off screen. Yeah, it's a stupid shot.
Yeah, it happens in all like horror movies, so I'm not gonna like blame this one for it.
Not all, but
it happens in a lot of horror movies, so I won't blame this movie for it. I just want to point out the stupidness that is that shot.
Stop using the shot.
Yeah.
If you're listening and you plan on doing film, don't do it.
Before we go deeper into the... Well, no, first I'll say, Michael is played by co-stunt coordinator Brad Loree. Now I will pause to bring up the whole technically not a retcon. And you may be going, yeah, it is. Well, it isn't, because it was more of a tomfoolery trickery on their part. They knew before they started shooting H2O that they were not going to actually let Michael's character be fully dead. And they talked to Kevin Williamson, and he came up with the idea that they ended up going with for this, and they literally shot it right after they finished principal photography for the last movie. Did they trick you? Is this, after the way that movie was set up, feel like a retcon and kind of very much undermines what that movie was going for? Yes. Yes, it does. But by technically, it's not a retcon because it was always planned to be this trickery.
We all just got collectively bamboozled.
Basically, yes. And I think part of it was because, so the way it worked was all the writers, like, thanks to Mustafa Akkad, had like a clause in all the writers' contracts that said that they couldn't kill Michael because, you know, he wants sequels. It makes sense, even if it's not.
Right.
But Jamie Lee Curtis only said she'd come back if her character got a definitive closing story in that movie where there's no tease or anything like that in that movie of there being a sequel. She wanted there to be a definitive end. So they had to work around both their main star and their main producer with two completely different ideas and had to come up with this. Which I honestly don't hate. I get why people do. I get it. It is terrible, objectively. But I don't personally mind it.
It is pretty objectively terrible.
But especially with the circumstance, I get it. They needed something. And this was the best thing they could come up with to let, you know, yeah, I don't know. I'm okay with it. I understand if you don't like it, though. I respect not liking that. But the point is...
I just meant this movie as a whole, but...
Huh?
Oh, there I go. I said I was just talking about the movie as a whole and not necessarily the retcon.
It's going to be one of those episodes, guys.
Oh, probably not. I just didn't enjoy my time at all.
Well, I'm not going to tell people how I feel until later. Except for the fact that I literally told them last week.
Yeah. He likes this movie, guys.
I do. I really like it. I think it's really fun. I have nothing but fun with this movie. But yeah, so we cut to a security guard named Willie doing his rounds outside. Willie is played by Dan Joffrey of Jennifer's Body and Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, alongside Horror Boy alum Seth Green of Idle Hands, Freddie Prinze Jr. of I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, Sarah Michelle Gellar of Scream 2, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I guess kind of H2O, because her scene in Scream 2 is played. And lastly, national treasure Matthew Lillard of Scream. Willie finds the door to the barbed wire fence open. Am I Willie? I think you're Willie, actually. Yeah, you're Willie. Because he talks to Harold, and I'm Harold.
Good God, I don't remember any of these people. Finds the door to a barbed wire fence. Hello? That sounds like a Willie.
Not at all, but it's okay.
Cool.
We cut to a POV shot from behind a tree, which starts to approach Willie from behind. Could this be killer POV? No, it's Harold POV. Harold is a patient who is currently wearing a clown mask. Harold is played by the late Gus Lynch of Hellraiser 6 and Willard 2003, alongside Horror Boy alums, director and writer Glenn Morgan of Final Destination 1 and 3, cinematographer Robert McLaughlin of Final Destination 1, Final Destination 3, and Freddy vs. Jason, composer the late Shirley Walker of Final Destination 1, 2, and 3, stuntman the late Lou Bolo of Final Destination 3, special effects artist and puppeteer Valak Sykes of Rubber, special effects artist and puppeteer Rick Lazzarini of Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and 5, Kristen Cloak of Final Destination, and Crispin Glover of Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. But also, I don't know why I did two ands there. That makes it very confusing, because there's still also the late Arlie Ermey of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 and Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Beginning. Harold says, "Boo!"
And Willie replies, "Holy poop!"
What happened to his voice?
I remembered who Willie was.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Harold laughs.
Harold, are you trying to give me a heart attack?
No.
How the hell did you get out again? Where are you supposed to be today?
Harold lifts his mask. John Wayne Gacy, born in Chicago, Illinois, on March 17th, 1942.
Come on, big guy.
Killed 33 people. Buried them under his house.
I know, Harold.
He was executed on May 7th. Their conversation trails off as they walk further away, and we cut to a shot of Michael in the woods, right next to
real!
We cut to security guard office. We cut to the security guard office, where Willie joins a second security guard, Franklin. Franklin is played by Horror Boy alum Brent Chapman of Freddy vs. Jason. It's almost like this movie was probably shot in a similar area as Freddy vs. Jason. Because whatever that similar area is probably not Los Angeles. Because there's a lot of random bit characters who are in one or two other random movies.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, I think these are all shot in Canada, I believe is where all of these were shot. I think I remember that for the Final Destination films.
That sounds about right.
Franklin notices on the monitor that someone is walking down the boiler room hallway. Willie, I'm not trying to criticize your work, but if you put Harold in his room, how come I see him in the basement?
But just 2 seconds ago, he was...
Come on, let's go get him. How many times do I have to tell you? You gotta be sure what you're doing. They head out. We get a shot of the monitor confirming it is in fact Michael in the basement. Now in the basement, Willie stops at the vending machine. Willie, what are you doing?
I skipped dinner.
Hurry up.
Okay.
Franklin walks away. We go with Franklin, who calls out, Harold? Harold, what are you doing down here? What's gotten into you? We cut back to Willie at the vending machine. Willie hears Franklin scream, Ah! So he heads over after him. He walks past a spooky swinging light fixture and walks over to the running dryer.
Oh, man, that sure would be crazy if we saw a dryer kill again.
Technically, there was no... Technically, neither of them are the kill. It's just, the finding of the dead in a dryer.
That's true.
Technically, the dryer never gets to kill anyone. I'd actually welcome a dryer kill. I've never seen one.
A dryer kill would be insane. Another body in a dryer? Come on, Mike.
No, the body wasn't even in the last one. It was just the sheet.
Pretty sure there's been a body.
It was the only other time we had a dryer was Curse of Michael Myers, and it was the dad of the main character girl, the jerk dad, found the bloody sheet that his wife was killed next to. So, I'm sorry. Chris, I have a stupid memory when it comes to Horror Bois crap. I remember stupid details that aren't important from horror movies. Because I have to sit down and write them down for hours.
Very reused. I don't know.
It's only 2 times, but to be fair, it was only 2 movies ago. So I will give you that. But also, it is completely different people other than the literal just producers.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, though.
The running dryer. He opens it, and as he's looking inside, Michael does a one-armed ninja dealy-do and lowers himself. Yeah,
from the last movie.
Hey, that's, established character development. That's something that this Michael can do.
Yeah, because he did it once, and now that's something he does on the regular basis.
He's only done it. What? Spoiler! This is the only time he does it. He does it once per movie, and that's it. And it's just like, okay.
It just feels like such a weird thing to do.
Well, we had to give him ninja training.
Bring it back.
So he can be prepared for his biggest foe of all time.
Freddy.
Bum bum. He lowers himself from the ceiling behind Willie. Willie finds Franklin's head in the dryer and starts to back away, tripping over Franklin's decapitated body. He gets up and backs into Michael, who proceeds to slit Willie's throat. We cut to Harold's room, where he's reading a magazine. Ted Bundy, November 24th, 19... But he stops when he hears a very loud knife scraping sound effect. I wrote that once for you. I honestly still don't think of it that loud. I don't really have a problem with it. Chris texted me how much he hated the sound effects in this movie. And even in the specific scenes where he tells me to look for it, I don't really see it nearly as bad as he makes it sound.
Sound design in this movie is garbage.
I disagree. I think it's completely fine. I'm not going to say it's good sound design.
Hot dumpster fire.
This is what we're talking about.
I'll say it, oh, God, it drove me insane. But that's just my mental illness, probably.
Because I had no issues with it at all. I thought it was fine. Yeah. I honestly feel like
I'm sure there's 3 other people who are on the spectrum who also heard it and their brains went, ah.
I got
But
it.
yeah,
I got that.
that's the last time I'll bring it up.
I got that different kind of mental illness. That's not what triggered. That didn't trigger me.
Because there is 4 or 5 other times where I could tell you the scene that it happens, and then I'll go, oh God, I remember the sounds here.
I think
So I'm
there's
just gonna
one
front
other
load that.
scene that you specifically texted me about that I do think I mentioned. Again, how I
Oh.
don't see at all what you're talking about. We'll get to that when we get to that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, but yeah, he stops because Michael walks past the window with a really loud sound effect knife. Michael walks up to the door of Laurie's room, and after bumping into it a few times, he just walks right through it.
Yeah,
You know, as you do.
as you do.
Yeah. So he just walks right through the door. Bum. And he heads to the bed. But Laurie's done the classic pillow as a decoy body trick.
Yeah.
Laurie hits Michael from behind with a lamp, knocking him down. She runs away. I lost my place on the page. She runs away, leading Michael to the roof. Once on the roof, Laurie is nowhere to be found. But her robe is on the parapet, which I had to look up what those are called because that's my type of autism. Is I have to know what the exact word for random things I don't know what the word is, and I'm like, so I have to go digging and it was hard to find this one because at first I was like half wall on a roof, not enough. I don't remember what keywords I had to do to figure out what it was called, but I figured it out. It is a parapet.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is like that little guardrail-esque half wall at the top of like buildings.
Ah.
Michael walks over towards the robe before Laurie reveals she was hiding behind the door. And says,
Oh, yeah. Hello, Michael.
She then catches his foot in a snare trap and hangs him upside down. Michael drops his knife. Laurie walks towards Michael, saying,
I knew you'd come for me sooner or later. What took you so long?
Laurie picks up Michael's knife.
You failed, Michael. And you want to know why? Because I'm not afraid of you. But what about you? Are you afraid of me? Are you afraid to die, Michael?
Laurie walks over to cut the rope that Michael is hung by. Michael, like Chris, doesn't like the sound design, so he grabs his ears.
It's pretty bad.
I forgot I wrote that. I love it.
It's pretty bad.
He grabs at his ears. This reminds Laurie of the paramedic she thought was Michael in the last movie. Laurie stops cutting the rope and walks over to Michael. She reaches out to his face, saying,
I just have to be sure.
She grips the mask.
Grabs?
No,
Yep.
it's grips. She grips the mask and starts to pull it down when Michael grabs her wrist. She tries to stab him with the knife in her other hand, but Michael catches her wrist. You know what? No, we're not going to laugh at someone for accidentally having a lisp for a second, Chris. That is not okay. We do not laugh at people for speech impediments.
I'll laugh at my best friend for making a little silly oopsie.
Michael, now having double wrist control, pulls Laurie over the parapet when the rope snaps, causing both of them to fall over the edge. Michael does a ninja grab with one hand. I'm sorry, I forgot. He does do it twice because he does it here. And stabs Laurie with the other. Laurie gasps in pain before kissing Michael.
Yeah. And she says, I'll see you in hell.
Michael removes the knife from her back, and Laurie falls to the trees beneath her in a slow motion.
And I no longer have a reason to watch this movie.
I get that is a complaint a lot of people have, and I get it, but also there's nothing left to tell with a Laurie story in this specific timeline. You did you should have just not brought her back at all. But it sat for some, because they've, ever since the second movie, they've decided that Michael has to be completely obsessed with Laurie.
Yeah.
He has to.
Well, he's got to hunt down his immediate family.
Sometimes it's just,
but only in 4 through 6.
Yeah, well, it's 1, 2. Buckle
your shoe. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I get it. I'm normally one of those people who's like, really, you're killing the main character off that early? But for me, I'm just like, I'm done with Laurie at this point. Like, what's there left to tell with this Laurie? Like, yes, I get there's the Halloween 2018 version of Laurie where they tell a different story. So I don't hate that they brought back Laurie again because they're telling a completely different story. This one, I'm done. I don't care about Laurie anymore. I want to move on.
Bring back her son or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I just didn't care about any of the characters they introduced.
That's fair. That is fair. I can respect that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll move on.
As Michael leaves,
we cut to a killer POV as Michael entered Harold's room. Michael
yes.
hands Harold his knife. As Michael leaves, Harold says, Michael Myers, born on October 19th, 1957, killed his older sister, October 13th, 1963.
31st even.
What did I say?
13th.
Dyslexia, baby.
Yeah.
Killed 3 high school students, October 31st, 1978. Also killed 3 nurses and a paramedic same night. Was believed to be dead, then killed 4 students, Hillcrest Academy, 1998. Has been missing, unheard of, last 3 years. Now he's back.
Back again.
We're now seeing a shot of Michael walking away in the boiler room hallway as the Halloween theme hits.
And then there's a whole flashback of the cult of... No, there's not.
We then get our title card. Woo, title card. And now I want to point out, once again, as we've talked about, Chris has his autism of hearing the sounds. For me, it's when things are inaccurate that are very easy to check. So I want to point out that Harold's bio on Michael was a little off. He missed a mechanic in the original movie, a high school student, a security guard, a cop, and a doctor in Halloween 2, and Marion, 2 teenage boys, and also actually only killed 3 people at Hillcrest Academy, one of them being guidance counselor Will, therefore not a student. All of those, a few of those would have been hard to pin on Michael, but there definitely are a few from the hospital in 2 that would definitely have been attributed to him. And I have no idea how he got 4 students in H2O. Unless this one line is implying that he somehow later killed, John and his girlfriend, Molly. Unless that's what this one line means.
Guess that could imply that because we do not hear any mention of John.
But also, it could just be that they just aren't relevant in this specific story because Laurie hadn't been able to see her kid in 3 years, so who knows where he is. But I don't know. It just seems weird because they definitely don't even give us a retcon scene of them dying, so I don't know where the 4 students come from. And if they do, if there really were 4 students die, that means we're counting them. That means he did, therefore, miss Will, who would have been attributed to him because Laurie saw it happen.
Yeah.
As well as a few of the ones from the hospital. When they started finding the other bodies at the hospital, they would have been like, I wonder if these other bodies are connected to these other bodies we found.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe someone else killed these bodies. We can't say that they did it. There's a few, the mechanic. No one ever we don't even know if his body's ever found. So fair.
The gas station did get blown up.
No, that's in 4. It's completely different.
Oh, that
timeline.
is in 4.
This is when Loomis just drives past and we, the audience, see that there's a truck with a naked guy in a bush, and that's where Michael got his jumpsuit.
Oh yeah.
That one, that body was never found. Fair. I'll accept that one. Once again, people might assume that Mary and the 2 teenage boys were killed by Michael, but there's no proof. There was no proof that Michael did it. Fair. There's a few there. But then there's some that's no, they definitely would have.
Yeah.
And if this guy, with his whatever special needs he has to be in this mental hospital, can remember all these details, he would remember these deaths that definitely would have been attributed to Michael. So I'm a little disappointed in the writers.
Oops.
All right, so back to the movie. We cut to Haddonfield University, where Dr. Mixter, not to be confused with the doctor killed in 2 that Harold didn't get credit, giving a lecture. Dr. Mixter is, or as he's credited, Professor, is played by director Rick Rosenthal.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm Mixter because...
Am I Mixter or
I think I'm Mixter because he only technically talks to your character. Because you're Sarah. So I'm Mixer. So where's the line? I lost the spot. Carl Jung tells us that the human psyche contains a figment of ourself, that even the collective unconscious denies. Good morning, Paul. It's nice to see you in class. Am I keeping you up? All right. What do I mean by all this, people? I mean that inside all of us, there lurks a dark, malevolent figure, a kind of boogeyman, if you will, that Jung called what? Come on, stick with me, people. Take the Kierkegaardian leap of faith, or Kierkegaardian leap of faith. Jung said we must face down our fears and face up to the figure he called what? A girl named Sarah replies.
Ah, Sarah. The shadow. Ooh.
The shadow.
Or something.
Yes, Sarah, very good. Thank you. I'm glad somebody was awake. The bell rings, letting them know the class is over. Sarah is played by Bianca Kajelich? Kajelich, yeah, sure, we'll go with that. Of Rules of Engagement and Bring It On.
Oh.
I actually really like the TV show Rules of Engagement. You wouldn't like it because it's just a very generic sitcom. But it's one that I don't ever hear anyone talk about, and I just feel like it deserves to be talked about slightly more. We cut to Sarah, riding her moped on the sidewalk, because she's cool.
Real cool.
Or not.
She got a moped.
Or such a loner. I don't know what they're trying to go with. Her friend Jen yells, am I just doing that voice, or do I want to do a different voice?
Ha,
Sarah!
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Sarah! Sarah, what up? I've been looking for you everywhere. Guess what?
What did you sign us up for this time?
We gotta find Rudy, okay? Come on! We get an obvious patting shot of them walking down the sidewalk for just way too long.
Yippee.
And it's not like the movie's, like, super short. And this is one of the few shots that I felt was, like, egregiously just padding. So I feel like this just should have been cut. Like, it's 10 seconds. It should have been cut. I don't know why it wasn't.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bum. Jen is played by Katie Sackhoff of The Haunting in Connecticut 2, Ghosts of Georgia.
Georgia.
That makes no sense. That's the name of a movie, and I believe it does take place in Georgia, but it was just, there was The Haunting of Connecticut 2 Haunting of Connecticut was a successful enough movie that they decided to make a sequel that wasn't connected to it really at all, and now it makes no sense, because it's The Haunting in Connecticut 2, Ghosts of Georgia. She was also in Don't Knock Twice, Star Wars, The Clone Wars, The Mandalorian, and Oculus.
Oh,
we cut to Oculus.
Said I like Oculus.
Yeah, fair. We cut to the kitchen, where Rudy is chopping up some vegetables. Rudy is played by Sean Patrick Thomas of Barbershop, and Wes Craven presents Dracula 2000, alongside Horror Bois alums Jennifer Esposito of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, piece of garbage, literal piece of trash, Danny Masterson of The Faculty, Lachlan Monroe of Freddy vs. Jason, composer Marco Beltrami of Scream Through Screform, and The Faculty, special makeup effects artist Gary J. Tunnicliffe, special makeup effects artist Paul Jones of Wishmaster and Bride of Chucky. Jesus, Mike, I'm done. Podcast is over, guys. Tune in next week.
Stuntman Kurt Bryant of Wishmaster, Jack Frost 1 and 2, Scream 2, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, Nightmare on Elm Street 2010, and Friday the 13th 2009.
Tom Kane of H20.
And stuntman Robert Racky of Jason X and Omar Epps of Scream 2.
Jen says, "Hi, Rudy." I'm also Rudy. Because for the most, he talks to Sarah
a lot more than he talks to Jen. Fair.
Don't distract me. No, I might think of a different voice for the second line. We'll see. I can't help myself.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it is
distracting. Have you checked your email? Rudy looks up for the first time and replies, "No. Why? Did you just send me something?" What? And they picked all three of us. What? Are you serious? Uh-huh. Oh, God. Yes. All right. That is all good. Now, this isn't one of those little jokes, is it? No. But Sarah doesn't want to go.
I might go. I just haven't decided yet.
No. That isn't acceptable. It is unacceptable. We're going to be bigger than the Osbournes.
Which in the mid-2000s is, like, moderately big.
They were there. The Osbournes, in, like, 2002, the Osbournes was a huge show, to be fair. Like, it is a very dated reference, for sure, but that is pretty darn big.
That's fair. They did have their sitcom thingy, their reality TV show. That's what it wasn't
a sitcom. I mean, I guess it kind of was. There were situations and there was comedy that ensued.
Yeah, in a way, it's kind of like real-life sitcoms. So anyways, they make a terrible reference to the Osbournes.
Aww.
It's not a terrible, it is just dated.
Now,
it's
Sarah
just
says,
a dated reference. I don't remember where I am.
After I say the Osbournes, we're going to go large.
Look, every time I let you two talk me into something, I live to regret it.
Listen, without me, you would die of boredom. Us! Without us, you would die of boredom. Whatever. And he stabs a pumpkin with his knife he was holding. We cut to the logo for Danger Tainment. It's got a little knife as the T, though.
Knife-aintainment.
It's Danger Knife-aintainment.
The incorporation of emojis into the script.
Just for that one. And there's one other time I wanted to make sure you knew to sing that line.
Oh, okay. Cool.
The Dangertainment one was just a joke because I thought it was stupid that the T was a knife.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't worry. The rest of the time that I have to mention the word Dangertainment, the like 50 other times it comes up in the script, it doesn't have a knife.
I almost wish that it did.
So you see the logo of
an email.
It's an email to Sarah that says, "You have been cast as a member of the Dangertainment team. You are one of the chosen few that will explore the deep, dark recesses of the human psyche."
Are you sure they're not just putting us in some house with hidden cameras in the shower?
No. It's like we're investigative reporters searching a crime scene. And look at that scholarship.
Yeah.
Besides that, thousands of people are going to see my face. Our face. A man named Aaron randomly walks into the room. Aaron is played by Haig Sutherland of Slither and Valentine, alongside Horror Bois alums Marley Shelton of Scriform and Scream 2022, and Katherine Heigl of Bride of Chucky.
This is the, like, goth guy, right?
Nope. No? Aaron is the weird, creepy dude who comes in, sniffs some panties, and tries to scare them and is never seen again.
Oh, yeah, he's the creepy D-bag.
Yeah, he is such a nothing character, but he's here. I think, who's Aaron?
And am I Aaron?
I don't remember. I think I made you Aaron.
Am I Aaron?
I think I did make you Aaron.
He's not Aaron. He's just Aaron.
There it is. No, you're Aaron. You're Aaron.
Okay, cool. Don't do it. That's the house where it all started. He walked its hallways, hid in its closets, dreamed in its bedrooms, left his mother in the kitchen, watched TV in the living room with his dad.
He very creepily feels a pair of the girl's panties that's hanging up and continues.
played in his sister's bedroom. Then one day he picked up a knife and he never put it down again. Mama!
He's pushed out of the room. It wasn't quite what it was, but it's okay. He's pushed out of the room by Jen, who he's trying...
Who closes the door?
I skipped to the next half of the line because like the period's kind of lined up right. Jen says,
Fair.
"Fuckers upsetting weird. Don't pay any attention to him. He's just trying to scare us."
I just need to send a quick email.
She starts to type an email to Deckard. We cut to a young teen boy's room. The room belongs to Miles, who was joined by his friend Scott. Miles is played by Horror Boy alum Ryan Merriman of Final Destination 3.
It's true.
As well as, we don't really mention other things that aren't that, but he's also like the king of decoms. I feel like he deserves to mention that, no matter what. Scott is played by Billy Kay. Scott says,
"Am I Scott?"
Yeah, because I'm going to be Deckard's emails later.
Who talks a lot to Sarah.
Not really, but kind of.
Sort
so,
of,
yeah. That's why I was like, I guess. Yeah, so you are Scott.
Deckard, you'll never believe what I got myself into. Deckard? Who's Deckard?
Oh, it's my screen name. Sarah needed some tech support setting up her offline reader, so I,
You told her you're a graduate student? Graduate of what, junior high?
Oh, shut up, alright? We talk, like, every day. I don't know, it's kind of like we're dating.
She's never even seen you. And Yahoo chat rooms do not count.
Yes, they do count. Did you know that in the old days, knights would spend their entire lives courting ladies that they would never even touch? They would just, like, send each other sonnets and stuff. I'm a white knight.
That sounds like maidenless behavior to me. I mean, yeah, that was before internet music videos, man.
Which, if you want to, in case that might have came across to sounding right, music videos was not the actual line.
Yeah.
Miles replies.
Can imagine.
Yeah, Miles replies, "Whatever." And he starts typing a response.
Now what are you doing?
"Look, just give me a second, alright?" We cut to Sarah on her moped, driving up to the motel for Dangertainment. As Sarah walks in, we hear Jen say, "I hope Sarah shows up and wearing something acceptable. I mean, she can't still be mad at us for the last time we got her into something." "Oh, here she is. Hi!" She runs over to Sarah. The entrepreneur who started Dangertainment, Freddie Harris, says, "Okay, everybody listen up. Pay attention." He trails off as we cut over to Sarah and Jen's conversation. Freddie is played by rapper Busta Rhymes of Shaft 2000. It's not called Shaft, it's the Shaft is a very weird franchise where there are 3 movies that are all technically sequels to each other, all called Shaft.
They are all just Shaft.
Yeah. There is also a bunch of sequels to the original Shaft that came out like in the 70s or 80s or whichever one it came out. But the point is, Shaft 2000 is a sequel to Shaft, but not to be confused with, I think it's like 2018, where there is a third Shaft that is just a sequel to the first and second. It's honestly kind of like the Halloween franchise in its annoyingness.
The good old shafting.
But more importantly than that, and more important than his rap career, the most important thing he's ever done is in the Rugrats. He was in the Rugrats movie alongside where he played the Reptar Wagon, Chris, alongside Horror Boy alum Andrea Martin of Black Christmas. But he was crazy. The Reptar Wagon. Hey, I'm right. That part, he's great. I love Busta Rhymes as the Reptar Wagon specifically.
I like a few Busta Rhymes songs.
Jen asks, "Sarah, are you gonna wear this? Cause I thought I told you we were gonna be on camera." Back to Freddie, standing next to him is his assistant Nora. Nora is played by model Tyra Banks, host of America's Next Top Model and an actress in Coyote Ugly and Life Size, alongside the late Alf Humphreys of Final Destination 2. Freddie says, "Okay, I'd like to start this off saying the search is over. You six have been selected to explore America's worst nightmare. Tomorrow night, Halloween. Live in front of the whole entire internet universe, you six will enter the birthplace of evil in its purest form. The childhood home of our most brutal mass murderer, Michael Myers. I just want to point out, as we learned in Bride of Chucky, I believe Michael would actually be classified as a multiple murderer.
That is true.
Not a mass murderer.
They were separated.
It's very important. Classification difference there.
Man,
as he gives that speech, he gives that speech, we get some establishing shots of our other three people chosen to be on Dangertainment. We have Donna, who is played by Horror Boy alum Daisy McCracken of Delirium. Next up is Jim, who is played by Luke Kirby of Glass and A Dog's Purpose. Rounding off the group, we have Bill, who is played by Thomas Ian Nicholas of the American Pie main franchise. So, like, American Pie was one of those comedy franchises in, like, the mid-2000s, like, just basically licensed out its name. So, like, the American Pie 1, American Pie 2, American Wedding, and American Reunion are the ones he's in. Because there's a bunch of... He's not in American Pie Girls Rule. I think that's a real movie. They get really weird.
I don't know.
The four mainline ones are decent enough for what they are. Anything that's the other ones, those are made for DVD garbage. Yeah, so he's in that alongside Horror Boy alums Shannon Elizabeth of Jack Frost and Sean William Scott of Final Destination. Yeah. We now cut to a montage of some interviews with the Dangertainment cast. Nora, who is you, asks.
Nora
asks.
So, what do you hope to find in the house tomorrow night?
Am I Jen? I honestly don't remember.
You are Jen.
Okay.
That's...
No. Oh, you're right. I think I'm also Donna, because I gave myself, because I wanted to make it fair that you didn't have to do like all the female voices, and because I already gave you Nora instead of Freddie, you got Jim instead of Donna. There's too many pairings in this movie. It really breaks how I like to give us like one. I like the 4 cast member pairings because that's easy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My way into network broadcasting. Bill says. Bill.
I'm
Bill.
Bill.
That's you.
I just want to say that Michael Myers is not just the man behind a mask.
Bill,
He's a legend.
real quick. I feel like you're doing Jim's voice right now.
I am doing Jim's voice.
Yeah, I know. I could tell that voice you were going for, and I feel like that's a Jim voice. Bill is the guy who likes Jen.
Oh, yeah. I just want to say that Michael Myers is not just the man behind a mask. He's a legend. And you're Donna, right?
Yes. Donna says, I'm interested in how Michael Myers embodies the politics of violence embedded in pop mythology. Never underestimate the effects of a poor diet. Too much protein? Not enough zinc. Next thing you know, you're cutting up bodies in the bathtub. I mean, look at Hitler. He was a vegetarian. That brother was seriously malnourished.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on.
And Jim says, you don't have to go far to find Michael Myers. He's the great white shark of our unconscious. He's the dark-eyed child of our spirits. He's every murderous impulse we've ever had. He's the little voice that whispers to us to strangle the old lady taking too long at the checkout counter. Get to know him, baby. He's you.
I want to point out that during this montage, Tyra Banks did some really, like, decent, like, facial reaction, like, to, like, some of the weird things people were saying. Like, it was very small and subtle stuff that, honestly, a lot of actors don't do well, and she's not an actress, really. And she did a pretty decent job with, like, her little facial reactions to, like, the very absurd things that both Broody and then Jim just said.
Yeah.
It is now time for Sarah's interview.
Oh, yes.
So, Chris, talk to yourself real quick.
Yes. So tell us, Sarah, why do ordinary people turn to murder? Well, I think it has. Wait, what?
I think I did forget Sarah.
To say Sarah? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Because I was like, that doesn't make sense for it to
No,
still
yeah,
be
that's
Nora
the
talking
answer.
there.
I don't know why It's normally not
Well,
that bad.
I think it has something to do with upbringing.
The still photographer accidentally knocks over a light, which crashes behind Sarah, exploding. That causes Sarah to let out her scream that breaks a glass in the room. And this is where I want to bring up a fun fact that all of her screams were dubbed in because she couldn't scream.
Interesting.
Yeah, apparently she's like not a good screamer, so they had to dub in screams for her.
Fascinating.
Rudy says, "Dang, that girl can sing." Nora gives an approving look to Freddy, who with a huge smile says, "That's what I'm looking for. Ooh." We cut to Freddy in his motel room, watching the movie Duel of the Iron Fist on TV. Freddy, talking to the TV, says, "Get his butt, get his butt, get his butt. Who's better than Wat Chun-Li? Come on, whooping everybody's butt while he's smoking a cigarette?" Before we move on, I do want to bring up that I have no idea where the name Wat Chun-Li comes from. The character he is referring to is played by David Chang. The character's official name is Chang Non, but IMDb also mentions him as the Rambler, and on the internet, he also has the name the Rover. None of which come close to Wat Chun-Li. And I looked, there's no character called Wat Chun-Li or actor ever. I don't know where this line comes from. And maybe at first it's like, maybe I heard it wrong. But he repeats it multiple times as Wat Chun-Li, who is not a thing. The closest thing you will find is eventually you might stumble on it saying like, "Do you mean Chun-Li from Street Fighter?" And I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah, that's a little awkward.
It's just like
that would have been very easy for them to like get that right.
And because like even if you want to go with, oh, maybe they were being a little racist and they didn't want to use the actor's real name because his first name's David. Okay, I could see that. I honestly
go by Chang Non,
but Chang Non sounds Chinese enough, or what Japanese. They don't they don't care, but they don't. He's Wat Chun-Li is not a person.
Yeah. And Freddy gets interrupted watching his movie with a non-existent character.
Oh, poop! Who's knocking on my door? Whoever this is distracting me from seeing Wat Chun-Li whip some butt. Sarah. Oh! He opens the door and says, "Sarah, what are you doing here? It's late."
I'm dropping out.
What?
I'm sorry. It's just, I'm so freaked out. I can't even sleep.
Slow down. What's the problem?
I mean, can't you see I'm not like the others?
I know you're not like the others. You know you're not like the others. The others ain't nothing but a bunch of small butt, wisecracking, posing wannabes. You are the real deal. Every existing element about you is what the internet audience really wants.
I don't want to be famous.
What do you mean you don't want to be famous? That's the American dream.
I think I'm just scared.
It's okay to be scared, Being scared is good. Fear is good. Fear motivates. Fear gives you the feeling of being alive.
Fear makes me want to throw up.
Trust me, please. When it's all said and done, at the end of the day, you'd be surprised with how much you surprise yourself.
Look, I'm sorry to bother you.
It's okay. Do me a favor. Sleep on it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. You can sweat it tonight, man. Now, take your tail on out of here and go to bed. Sarah smiles and she turns away. "Oh, Freddy boy, dang, you're good. Poop you come up with off the top of your head? Boy, why don't you just pat yourself on the back? Oh, Wat Chun-Li, oh!" We cut to the next morning at a thrift store.
Yep.
Jen says, Now, are you coming out soon, or are you planning on subletting? Ooh, sexy girl.
Sarah's now wearing a new glittery spaghetti strap tank top. And she says, "Do you think it's a bit too revealing?"
I think it's perfectly revealing. Sarah looks at herself in the mirror. She sees Michael in her reflection, standing outside the store. So, the person who fills in for her screams. It sounds better than that. But you can't on this. Yeah, that didn't pick up. So, oh, that kind of did. But when she turns around, there is no Michael. Wow.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Did you just say the boogeyman or something? The boogeyman? How very Jungian.
Dr. Mixter's class? I'm taking that course too.
We cut to Miles and Scott in Miles' room. Miles is on the Dangertainment website and says, "Ah, there she is."
Oh my god, you've been kitty whipped. What's worse, you've been cyber whipped. By the way, where's your costume?
Oh, I can't go out tonight. I promised Sarah I would watch her first episode. I'm gonna pause real there in between my line to say, first episode. This is like a one-night event. What is the second episode?
They all die.
Well, no, that's what happened.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, but like, what was the planned second episode?
I don't know.
Bum.
I don't think they knew.
Yeah, it's true. She's really nervous about it.
No. Mickey Stern's party is tonight, and you know that.
Oh. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I guess I forgot.
Forgot? Do you have any idea what it means for two freshmen to get invited? It's like it never happened before.
Your sister invited us so you wouldn't tell your mother about her tattoo.
Okay, that's besides the point, Miles Barton. You can either sit here in your little dream fantasy world, or you can come with me to this party and learn to walk like a man. Like, with one foot in front of the other. I think that's how they do it.
Before
so what's
I know
it gonna
I'll be walking across the floor.
Yeah.
I really like Christmas movies. Alright, well, let's go. We cut to Sarah writing Deckard a message on her Palm Pilot.
Ooh.
Chat room romance?
He's just a friend.
He's probably 50 and bald with a bad toupee.
Some internet trends never die.
No, joke's on you. He's actually an underage minor. Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the 50-year-old would be better, actually.
Yeah, no, for legal reasons. It absolutely
nothing's
is.
happened. They're just friends. It's only him who thinks that she's great. He thinks that she loves him.
Right. Yeah. It would be better for a 50-year-old, though.
Well, Sarah,
because he'd know what he's doing with tech.
Yeah. Has probably 50 and bow. Just say her line. I don't remember.
Okay, it's your turn now.
He probably collects human scan.
Give me a break, Jen.
Okay, everybody listen up. Now, I'd like to start by saying the home that you will be entering has been rigged up with several cameras, but for the most part, the audience will only see what you see. See these cameras right here? I kind of like these cameras. Bill gets real pesty and points his camera down Jen's top. Freddy continues. They can pretty much be clipped on to anything. You know, a hat, your short collar, your coat collar, pretty much any collar. Dog collar.
A white collar.
White collar.
Blue
collar. What's my... Oh, sorry, yeah. The viewers can pretty much control what they want to watch, switching around from camera to camera depending on what seems the most intriguing to them. So, if you guys want to be stars tonight, I suggest you do something that is very interesting so that it's worth the while of the viewers to want to keep their cameras on you. The cameras are so phallic.
Is that good or bad?
Depends who's watching. We cut to the Myers house. A Dangertainment crew member, Charlie, is setting up cameras. Charlie is played by the late Brad Sivon of Severed, Whisper, and White Noise, alongside Horror Bois alums Mike Dopud, Keegan Connor Tracy of Final Destination 2, Aaron Douglas of Final Destination 2, production designer Michael S. Bolton of Final Destination 2, special makeup effects artist Maureen Terazakis of Final Destination 2, special makeup effects artist and puppeteer Bill Terazakis of Final Destination 2, Jason Takes Manhattan, Curse of Chucky, and Freddy vs. Jason.
So it looks like White Noise is the Final Destination 2 movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Nora is supervising Charlie's camera placement from the production control room set up in a garage. Nora says,
"Hey, Orson Welles, pick a placement and move on."
Charlie replies, "Look, low angles, scary. High angles, scary. Medium angles, boring." He gives visual examples of each angle.
"I bet you learned that shooting all those weddings and bar mitzvahs."
Hey, I went to Long Beach State. Same as Spielberg.
"Look, Charlie, we're on a schedule here, okay? Just tell Max to rig a camera in the sister's room, alright?"
Max is back at the hotel helping Freddy.
"Okay."
Nora starts vibing to the song playing as she gets up to make herself some coffee. We get a very Chainsaw-esque low-angle shot of Tyra's butt. They forgot what movie they were in.
I guess so.
While she's distracted, Michael enters the house and uses the camera, like the camera leg. What's the tripod leg?
Yeah, it's
tripod
a
leg.
tripod leg, but it's also not a leg of the tripod at all. It's like the middle part that you stab into the ground.
Yeah, it's weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
So
most tripods don't have, by the way.
No, well, it's they had it set up for a big outdoor
for
shot.
the murder tripod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he gets stabbed through the neck. It's pretty cool. Michael then puts the camera back on the floor in the corner he took it from and drags away the body. Nora, still not looking at the cameras, calls Freddy. And she yawns.
"Freddy, oh baby, calm down. It's all good. Just relax. I got it all under control. This was the Firebird parked right in front of the house. Like, just totally about to ruin this establishing shot, but I called the tow truck. Yep, it's on its way. Alrighty, bye."
She looks over to the camera placement and says,
"Look at you, Charlie. That's a nice angle, boy."
We cut to the Dangertainment van arriving with the 6 cast members and Freddy. Alright, here we go. I actually think that this news reporter is also later news reporter 2, so I think this will be you for this one line.
"Can we ask you a few
That's
questions,
a
Mr. Harris?" "Can we ask you a few questions, Mr. Harris?"
News reporter is played by the uncredited Tamara Taggart, who almost exclusively played news reporters.
Interesting.
Yeah. Bill says,
"I got one word for you, Freddy.
What's that?
Product placement."
Which is 2 words.
Which is 2 words.
Oh!
It is.
Yeah? You can't count, can you, boy?
No, I can't, but yeah. Product placement.
Product placement. I like the sound of that.
You ever hear of it before? It's like something most people in media know about. It's kind of how they make most of their money.
Oh, you see, I'm actually an entrepreneur, not of media.
Oh, weird.
This is my first time ever doing media.
Yeah, or going around the house discovering the secrets of Michael Myers. We could be drinking like Pepsi or sporting the Gap, right?
Nice, sexy thinking. Kind of like that, actually. While Freddy says that, the music gets dramatic as Sarah is off, put by the vibes of the house.
No, bad vibes.
Yeah. Freddy stops to talk to the news reporters. How's everybody doing this evening? We're going to get it started like this. See? In the next 10 minutes, we're going to enter a mystery wrapped up inside of a riddle, inside of an enigma. We start a montage of the cast putting on cameras and mics. And I didn't write it down here, but this is the scene that Chris really complained about.
With way too loud sound effects of them going.
It's, hey guys, a lot of times Chris will point out things, and I go, oh yeah, you're right. And even times they'll be like, oh yeah, you're right. I don't care. This scene specifically, they sounded like the exact sound effects you would normally hear in a scene like this. I didn't notice it. Didn't notice it at all. Extra. Guys, odds are you will not notice it.
I might not, but you might.
There is a chance, but probably not.
If you got that weird sound design illness like I do, you'll
Freddie,
notice it. I've got misophonia.
Maybe. Now remember this. Everything you see, absolutely everything you see is real. There's no actors. None of the components or contents in the house have been messed with, mixed up, diluted, or tampered with in any shape, form, or fashion whatsoever. Now, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen, but what I do know is that no one will be allowed to leave until the show is over. Our top-of-the-line, state-of-the-art camera surveillance system will be picking up anyone who tries to sneak out. Let the dangertainment begin out this mother obscenity-er.
Well, people, let's do it.
Freddie sounds the air horn signifying the start of the broadcast. The cast heads into the Myers house. They all enter cautiously and look around and get started when the door slams.
Ah!
They all enter the living room, still very trepidatiously.
It looks like nothing's been touched in years.
We cut to a quick killer POV shot from around the corner in the kitchen. Alright, after the murders, the family just set it up and left without taking anything with them.
Well, it's not exactly a house you put on the market.
Actually, it was put on the market in the first movie, because that's why Laurie had to go up to it. Because her father was trying to sell it.
Shut up, Austin.
Oh, sorry, this is Jen. I'm a big fan of Halloween 1. It's my favorite movie.
Well, it's not a movie, it's real life in this movie.
Oh. But we're also in the world of Scream 2, which is in the world of Scream, which means Halloween is a movie in our world.
And I read that You Bet it has one of those nice big old kitchens, Rudy says. Oh. That's what he says.
Oh, Rudy says something? I guess I can do that.
Jen doesn't interject here.
Oh, you're right, my bad. Sorry, Rudy, say your line. Yeah, but I'll bet it has one of those big, nice old kitchens, you know? Rudy starts to walk off.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna check it out.
Oh. What are we gonna do? We don't have to do anything. Technically, we just have to be in the house. Aren't we supposed to be looking for answers? Alright, the devil made him do it. Done.
We owe it to the people watching to at least take a look around.
Oh, that's cute. You're already worried about your fan base?
You are like this close to getting voted off the island. I love Halloween
Survivor.
And Survivor. Woo! Those are my two favorite things, Halloween and Survivor.
It's got great taste.
I know.
And
I'm Jen.
A terrible personality.
Ha.
Yeah.
I thought about I didn't write it in the script, but I just want to... What is with early 2000s horror movies and this weird racial stereotype that I've never heard of African American men being hungry? It'd be one thing if it was one movie, but the fact that it's this and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer just stands out to me as like, wait, what? What? Why is this a thing? Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird to me.
That's fair.
And it's
I
like,
didn't really think about it until you said it.
I've never seen it in any other thing. Like, just these two movies. It's like, the only black male character, well, this one also has Freddy, but the, like, young teen black male character is the one person who's obsessed with food for some reason.
Wouldn't tell you.
Weird coincidence, okay? It's weird. And I think there's a commentary to be had there, and a research paper to be done. Not by
I know, there's a lot of movies with white guys who are hungry all the time.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It just feels weird. It just felt weird to me that, like, why isn't Bill hungry? Why isn't the nerdy white guy the hungry one?
There's a nerdy white guy in this movie?
Bill's
Is it
kind of...
Bill?
Bill comes across as, like, a dweeb. Maybe not nerd, but, like, just like a loser.
I think he is just a loser in this. I think he might just be the sex pest character.
We can't say that word. Pest.
Ah, yes. He's a harmonica pest.
Thank you. We can't.
Musical
Chris, we still can't say pest. He's a harmonica invasive species.
Are we not allowed to say pest?
No, I'm joking, Chris.
Oh.
I was making a joke that was the word I was upset with.
Ah.
So yeah, Rudy goes off to the kitchen.
I love the kitchen.
Floated off the island, and she gives a playful slap on his cheek as she walks.
Yes. Then
Rudy tells Sarah, "Hey, check this out." He opens the spice cabinet and continues, "You want something tasty and delicious? You ever tasted a 40-year-old fennel?"
You don't. It's gonna be rotten.
Rudy sniffs it. "That's strange."
What?
Rudy offers it a sniff. "It smells fresh."
Yeah, it does.
We come back to the living room where Jim says,
You know, Donna, you got great legs. What time do they open?
Donna flips him off.
That'd be 1 o'clock?
Back to the kitchen, where Rudy opens a drawer and pulls out a big kitchen knife. "Gosh dang! Sarah, you think this is the one that he used to, do his thing?"
No, they keep that in an evidence locker somewhere. Duh. She
Phew!
doesn't say duh.
And he returns the knife to the drawer. We cut to Bill, walking up behind Jen and scaring her, saying,
Boo.
"Ah!"
Did you scream?
Yeah. A very
Okay.
Jen scream.
Ah. What, are you scared?
No. Back to the kitchen, where Sarah sees a weird closet and asks.
What's in here?
When she opens it, out pops a high chair!
Ah.
With a lock on it.
Ah!
And it startles her. Ah. It also has Chris's favorite knife sound effect for some reason, even though it doesn't involve a knife at all. And I really actually... This is the one time where I agreed with Chris, like, that just doesn't even make sense. At least the knife sound effect makes sense with a knife. Like,
They overuse the knife sound effect a lot.
but see, normally it's at least there's a knife present. There was no
Yeah,
knife
sometimes
present.
there's a knife present, but there's also usually 4 or 5 extra slashes worth of sound effect added to any one slash.
It's not noticeable.
It's pretty good.
It's not noticeable, guys. He's wrong.
It is very noticeable
really not.
if you're looking for it.
See, I kind of
I'm
was.
always looking for it.
I was, though, after you had mentioned it. And I didn't notice it other than I was like, oh, yeah, the knife sound effect's there. Okay. And I moved on. But, it's alright. Chris just wants to hate.
You're making me soothe. Where are we? Returns the knife to the knife drawer?
Yeah, knife, high chair.
Boo.
What is
High chair.
that? Sarah pulls it the rest of the way out of the closet. Back to Jen and Bill. Okay, so I admit this place is a little creepy. Okay. They walk into the kitchen and Rudy says, "No. You have no idea. Look at this." Is that right? I feel like I skipped spot. I don't know. Oh, okay, yeah, he's responding to her walking in saying that. Look at that. Okay.
Yeah.
Saying this is creepy.
And Bill says, "Wow, a chair."
Jen backhands him in the chest.
My God, do you think they really actually kept him in this?
At this point, Donna and Jim join the kitchen crew.
Everyone loves the kitchen.
Yeah, Rudy finds a giant key tied to the side of the chair. What is that? Looks like the medieval key to Sarah's chastity belt.
Rudy. Okay, yeah. Maybe we should poke around a bit and see what else we can find. Forgot what my voice was for a second.
Aye, aye, Captain. Bill has his hand on Jen's shoulder, and she asks, "Why touch me? Don't go poke." Everyone disperses but Sarah and Jen, and we get a prolonged shot of the high chair. Ooh. We then get a slow-mo shot of Sarah walking through a door.
Doors.
That I think is in killer POV. Before we get a quick shot of Michael from the waist down holding a bloody knife. We then cut to the Halloween party Miles and Scott went to. They're dressed like John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction. Thankfully, in a movie even from 2000, no blackface. You never know with Halloween costumes and white characters.
That is true.
And there isn't. I give movie props. They chose to not go there. Samuel L. Jackson.
Man, they're dressed like...
Yep.
And they walk past a girl dressed like maid.
As they enter the party, they walk past a girl dressed like a maid. French Maid is played by Natasha Mouth of Lake Placid, Alone in the Dark 2, and Disturbing Behavior, alongside Horror Boy alums Catherine Isabel, special makeup effects artist Toby Lindella, special effects coordinator Joel Wilst of Final Destination 2, stunt coordinator J.J. Marco of Final Destination 1, 3, and 5, Chad Danella of Final Destination, David Patecow?
Oh.
Sure. Final Destination 2, and I Always Know You Did Last Summer, Brendan Fear of Final Destination, and Linda Boyd of Final Destination 2. This movie is also called Halloween, Horror Boy alum from Final Destination.
Uh-huh.
That was funnier in my head, I'll be honest. Miles asks, Scott, that's the wrong voice. Hi, it's Mitch Chan. How's it going, Scott?
No.
Scott, what are we doing here?
Hey, come on, man. Be cool, alright? Relax. Have fun. Poop. Hey, Miles, do you think anyone will know what we're supposed to be from Pulp Fiction?
As Miles looks around the party, we see a guy in a Letterman sweater. Letter Sweater Guy, as he is credited, is played by Ryan McDonald of He's Out There, and Becky, alongside Horror Boy alum Amanda Brugel of Jason X. Miles heads into the office to watch Dangertainment on the computer. We then cut to a random group of kids who are carrying a lit jack-o'-lantern that they leave on the Myers porch, and they run away laughing. We cut to inside.
Sick prank.
Yeah. Also, like, I've never heard of anyone carrying a lit jack-o'-lantern ever. Seems dangerous.
Not once. Yeah.
I mean, it could be. Maybe it's one of the ones with, like, a light bulb, so it's not dangerous, but still feels weird.
Yeah.
Well, we cut to inside, where the Dangertainment cast are lighting some candles, which I think we're supposed to be seeing from Killer POV, because it's walking closer to them. And then we get a quick cut of Michael. But he doesn't do anything in this scene, so it's pretty pointless. Back to Miles, who's clicking through different camera options on the Dangertainment website. Then back to the house, whereas Jen and Bill are making their way up the stairs. Jen's foot breaks through a stair. Oh, poop! Bill catches her, possibly a little low on purpose, and says,
Yeah, careful, Jen.
Hands off, bud. And they head up the stairs as we cut to Bill's camera that's just staring at Jen's butt.
Yep.
They head into a room and Bill says,
Bet this is Judith's room. You know, the older sister. The one he killed when he was 6 years old.
We cut to a killer POV shot walking up to the open door. Jen, who's sitting in front of the vanity, says, Hi, Keep the camera on the money here.
I think it happened when she was right there. Poor little Judith. Helpless, brushing her hair,
Jen stops brushing her hair.
young and naked.
Yeah, because that's gonna happen, right?
Come on, Jen. One flash and you could light up 1,000 computer screens. Light your whole career.
Jen smiles and stands up. You think? Bill nods.
Uh-huh.
It's an inaudible nod. That's not inaudible!
Bill doesn't know how to nod inaudibly.
Yeah, he does. Not your Bill, sure.
He's too obnoxious.
Just like how my version of Jen is not at all Jen.
Yeah, you understand.
Jen slowly unbuttons her outer shirt and starts to lift her undershirt. We get a quick shot of Michael watching. Jen stops at showing her bra and laughs. Ha ha! Then Jen says, "You crack me up." Bill looks disappointed and walks over to the closet.
I mean, you still showed your bras, so that's like pretty.
I'm gonna remember that forever.
Good wardrobe for you, Jen.
Jen is back to fixing her hair, but stops when she hears a floor creak in the hallway. We, the audience, see Michael walk past the room.
Yeah.
We then cut back to Miles as the camera he's watching goes fuzzy.
Uh-oh.
Wait, no! Somebody else is in the hall! We then cut to Nora, who sees the camera is fuzzy and types something on the keyboard to fix it. Back to Miles, where Letter Sweater Guy and a girl barge in. I believe she would be Teen Girl number 2, who is played by Charisse Baker of Santa's Buddies, alongside special makeup effects artist Toby Lindala. Teen Girl number 2 says, "Is that me?" No,
I think that's me.
Who's I don't know. Oh gosh, I'm leaving this page over here. Okay.
And since I think Teen Girl number 2, oh no, she does have a few more lines.
Yeah. No.
Are you Letter Sweater Guy?
I am Letter Sweater Guy.
Perfect. Come on, lover boy.
Oh, all right.
Perfect.
They proceed to walk over to the desk, seemingly to play harmonica, but Teen Girl number 2 screams when she notices Miles. Letter Sweater Guy says, "What are you doing, you big perv?" They're exploring the house of a mass murderer. Live. You want to watch? No way.
Sure.
Oh, okay. We cut back to the house where Donna and Jim are heading down the stairs to the basement. Impulse control disorder.
Huh?
That's my theory. I think Michael Myers had fits of rage that he could not control. Kind of like a klepto, or a music fan, or a pyro.
So instead of stealing silverware, he slashed the necks of teenage girls, huh?
Oh, come on. Haven't you ever had an impulse that you could not control?
Continuously.
You mean continually. Continuous means continuing, uninterrupted, while continual means recurring periodically.
Donna, when are you gonna get out of your head and start thinking with your body?
Please, does that line ever actually work on chicks in the music department?
Art history, too. Sometimes even poli-sci.
Well, it doesn't cut it with critical studies.
Bummer.
Besides, playing music with a music major would be tantamount to lesbianism. Ding, ding, ding! We have a winner! There it is, folks. The line that makes this movie age poorly is homophobia. Sorry to everyone who had their bets on racism. We are back to our regularly scheduled interview now. Review.
Yeah.
We get a quick shot of Michael's shadow walking up the stairs. We cut to Rudy and Sarah re-entering the kitchen. Sarah, I'm telling you, it's in the food. Remember that guy who was on trial for murder in San Francisco? All he ate was Twinkies.
Rudy, do you ever think of anything other than food?
Wouldn't you like to know? Because, that was obviously her coming on to him.
Yeah.
They hear a woman screaming.
Jen?
And they run off to see what's going on. Upstairs, they meet up with Bill. What's going on?
What happened? I don't know. I turned my back for a second and she was gone. Jen? Jen?
Rudy opens the door looking for Jen, but hearing Sarah still calling out for Jen, turns around right before he points the flashlight on Michael. He leaves the room to search for Jen with Sarah. Sarah enters a room saying,
Jen? Jen?
Jen turns her flashlight on and screams from behind Sarah. Because it was just a prank, bro.
A silly prank.
We cut back.
Also, I am realizing I think the reason that Rudy is hungry is that he's not really hungry. He just thinks about food all the time because I think he's like a what do you call it? A dietitian? Or like majoring in that field? Is what it feels like because he's always talking about like, oh, he just needs better protein or like a higher intake of this. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
But that's just my shot in the dark.
We cut back to Miles and at the party.
Yes.
As they all react to the feedback of the girl screaming.
Ah!
Yeah. A party goer, credited as Teen Party Guy, says, "Turn it down." Teen Party Guy is played by Horror Boy alum Jason Mewes. Wait, sorry, no, that's Kyle Labine of Freddy vs. Jason.
Dog.
Back to Sarah and Jen.
Gotcha! Did he look like Jason Mewes?
Huh?
But did he look like Jason Mewes?
Not so much in this, but he looks a lot of people say he looks like and acts like Jason Mewes, like his character in Freddy vs. Jason, to the point that even in the Nightmare on Elm Street documentary where they go through all of it, they brought in Jason Mewes to sit down and be like, yeah, so when I was in Freddy vs. Jason, I wasn't in Freddy vs. Jason, and then he leaves. It's great. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, Jen says, "Gotcha!"
God, you bad woman.
This small woman. You know what? That's not right, okay? You're foul.
So foul.
We cut to the control room where Freddy is pouring wine for him and Nora. Yeah, this is it. Us. For successfully, let me give you a little more. Putting together something collectively so ingenious as a team and a duo that we should definitely be able to secure a lot of food to the table for ourselves, as long as everything goes as nicely as it's going right now. Cut back to Bill.
And I would just like to say, the writers should technically write. It's a silly line, but God, has no one ever said that sentence ever. Yeah. Just as a very interesting line.
Okay. It did maybe because this felt like the kind of ramblings that every other line from Freddy, which felt so natural. I'm wondering if half of his lines are just Busta Rhymes improving.
It might just be that.
Because this just feels like a stream of consciousness from Busta Rhymes. Because it feels so natural coming out of him. And I don't think Busta Rhymes is a good enough actor that if he was given terrible dialogue, he'd be able to pull it off.
That is fair. That is fair.
I actually think that this
is probably just improv from Busta Rhymes.
I think Busta Rhymes was given an idea and went, got it. Say it as Busta Rhymes. You got it. And then in the middle of filling the wine, he literally stops and goes, I should put more in here. Like, that's all real. He literally, that was not in the screen. He's like, I should put more wine in this cup.
That's fair.
We cut back to Bill, who stops to look at a mirror and says,
I'm gonna get her back for that. Watch me.
Michael pops out through the mirror, grabbing at Bill. Back to the control room, where Freddy says, cheers. Back to Michael, who stabs Bill to death and makes Bill's
Yippee!
feet go fuzzy. Back to the control
Guess
room.
he also stabbed the camera.
Yeah. Well, he stabs like the top of his head.
Or the wire.
Yeah, cut the wire.
Probably not though, because the wire wrapped around the back of their head.
It wouldn't have hit the camera either. It happens.
Yeah.
It's a movie, except that something.
He died, so the camera's
dead.
funded.
The camera's gone. Just his though. Other people when they die, we still see their camera later.
Huh.
We literally see his camera later. Huh. Alright. Huh.
So back to
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
no. Hey,
Back to
spoiler, as we
Michael
already said
starts
earlier.
to look in
I
the
like
mirror.
this movie, but that is just there is a plot hole there that is just.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's not that big a deal, but because who cares if the camera stops working here but can work later? It's a camera. I don't care. But yeah, no, definitely, because there's definitely a shot later where you see it from his camera's point of view, which maybe that's just the movie and not the actual world, possibly. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Freddy. We'll come back to
Back
them.
Cheers.
Yeah, he's fuzzy. Back to the control room where Nora says,
Wait, what just happened? We just lost Bill's camera.
"Oh, poo! You must have just dropped it. Obsidian fool. Find another view, quickly, please."
Yes, we are doing our thing.
No?
No? Oh, Freddy, relax. I think this is going really well.
Really, baby?
Yes, we are doing our thing.
Okay. To Dangertainment. And they cheers their wine glasses. We cut back to Jen, Sarah, and Rudy. Jen lays down on a bed and says, this must be the bed where he was conceived.
Stop showing off, Jen.
How is that showing off?
Yeah, I don't know how that's showing off, but Sarah thinks that it is.
We see Michael.
How do you know where they conceived Michael Myers?
We then see
Come on, you're kind of a nerd for that one, Jen.
Well, you see, I love Halloween. That's my favorite movie, so I've done a lot of research. I also love Survivor.
And oops, here comes Michael past the room there.
Oh, well, look, it's Michael. I mean, I don't see him. Sarah opens the Louvre. It's not Louvre. I actually, once again, figure out how it's written. It's actually Louvre. Closet doors.
Louvre.
She looks around the clothes and gets scared by a mannequin in a white mask.
Rudy.
Sarah!
Jen, help me.
Are you okay? Rudy does a Michael impression and breaks the slats on the closet door. Rudy and Jen help Sarah out of the closet. We cut back to Miles at the party, and teen party guy enters the office and asks, "Hey, is this that Michael Myers thing?" "Yeah." "Alright, cool." In a scene that was obviously shot to be before the last scene at the party, because he just entered the room.
Again,
Yeah.
This time now without his girlfriend for any reason.
And not knowing, he didn't have a girlfriend.
What's happening?
He didn't have a girlfriend in the last scene. He was alone.
Oh, that's, I'm
Teen
thinking
Party Guy is Jason
Letterman
Hughes
guy.
looking guy. No, this isn't Letter Shirt Guy. This is not Letter Sweater Guy. This is Teen Party Guy, Chris.
Jeez. I'm getting them all mixed up.
But he definitely was in the last scene going, "Oh, turn it down." So he was already there watching it.
That is true.
What it really comes down, I think what it came down to is they shot this scene as an establishing scene to introduce him. And then that other scene was obviously shot to go with that scene, but they wanted a scene at the party to break up scenes and had to just go, "No one will notice," and place this one here. And I noticed.
And then we did.
And I noticed.
Oopsies. Yeah. Back to Donna and Jim in the basement.
Yeah.
They find a hatch on the floor, and Donna asks,
"What is this?" Jim squats down to look at it, and when he stands back up, he bumps into Donna. "Sorry."
"Are you?"
"You're such a Lothario."
I don't know what that means exactly, but
"Just go with it." And she leans in for a kiss, but Jim stops her before their lips meet, saying,
"Well, hold on, I just thought of something."
and he leaves her. Hold on. You've got to be kidding me. What are you, looking for Playboys? We cut back to Rudy, Jen, and Sarah. Rudy finds a coloring book that has a lot of drawings that look bloody. Oh no, this kid must have been messed up in the head. This ain't right.
Well, it's obvious that the boy was subject to emotional and physical abuse.
No, I mean, all of this. It's not right. It's too easy. Why is all this stuff still here? Answer that, Nancy Drew.
Where's Bill?
He's probably still mad at me. He's gonna jump out of somewhere and try to scare me. Your watch. She takes her camera off and looks directly into it, repeating, "Your watch."
Oh.
We cut to Jim in the kitchen, grabbing the big key attached to the high chair. Back out to Donna in the basement. She finds an old doll, and we get a quick shot of killer POV accompanied by the traditional heavy breathing. Something makes a noise and startles Donna. Donna looks around and calls out, "Jim?" A moment later, Jim rejoins her. "You know, if I'm keeping you from something, just let me know." Jim shows her the key and says,
"Look."
He then inserts the key into the hole in the hatch and unlocks it.
Voila.
Clever boy. Back to the party, and Miles says, "See, they're looking for clues. You know, something that might explain why Michael Myers went bad." Scott and French maid enter the room. "Hey, Scott, what's up?" I'll mention them here because I have no idea when they actually show up, but I think these three characters are party goers and therefore would have been somewhere in one of these party scenes at some point. There is Girlfriend, who was played by an uncredited Jada Hay, who, as a costumer, worked on The Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl. Boyfriend, who was played by an uncredited Jason McKinnon. And Bob Green, who was played by Horror Boy alum David James Lewis of Child's Play 2019. I don't know when and if these people were ever actually in the movie, but officially they're supposed to be.
Bob Green.
Yeah. You remember the like mean stepfather-esque boyfriend who actually has a secret family in Child's Play 2019?
Right.
That's him. And apparently he's in this movie as Bob Green.
A teenager?
Yeah, I get. Yeah, it would have to be time frame wise, but I don't remember ever seeing him, and there's never a character mentioned as Bob Green. But apparently there is a character called Bob Green. Back to Donna and Jim, descending down the ladder to the room under the hatch.
"Hey, you think they kept him down here?"
"Maybe. Look at this." And she shines her flashlights on the chains on the walls.
"What? What is it?"
"It's some sort of weird harness. This whole place looks like some sort of sadistic playpen. You know what that makes me think?
"What?"
There's definitely no cameras down here."
Yeah.
She then takes off Jim's and her head cameras and drops them to the ground. They do land in a way that you can still see them as they start making out against the wall.
Jim says, "Say something smart."
Existence precedes essence. She then takes off her shirt and bra, and they move to the ground to play some harmonica. But before they get to the wall crumbles next to them. The wall next to them rumbles and breaks with debris and skeletons falling onto them. We cut to the control room where Nora and Freddy laugh.
"That worked perfectly."
Whoo! That is what I'm talking about. Back to Donna, who screams, "Oh my god! Oh my god! All his victims! It's a mass grave! Animal!"
"Oh god."
He starts digging in the rubble. "All his victims! Oh!"
Then he picks up an arm and says, "Poop. Look at this. No one obsidian believe this.
What?
Made in obsidian Taiwan."
We cut to a shot of Michael outside the house through a window. He then opens the back door and enters the kitchen. He walks into the dining room, followed by Michael. The Michaels walk to the living room. The first Michael hears the floor creak behind him and turns around, saying, "Oh, poop! Man! Charlie! Where the obscenity you been at? Man! Don't you know we've been looking all over this mother obscenity here for you? Now why the hell are you dressed like me anyway? I ain't paying you to be Michael Myers. I'm playing Michael Myers. If them kids come around and see us dressed up in the same poop, you're gonna ruin the whole effect. Gosh dang it! What the hell's wrong with you? I said, what you looking at me like that for?" Freddy Michael taps Michael on the head, saying, "Huh? You don't get it? You don't get it? Your poop ain't working up there? Or something? You need to take your butt in the back of the garage with Nora. That's your job. Get back there with Nora and help her butt out. Go do your job. I left the back door unlocked for your butt to go to the back into the garage. That's what I did. You need to get the hell out of here. Go on. Scoot. Skedaddle. Get the obscenity out of Dodge." Michael
yes.
turns around and walks away.
I've come full circle on the Freddy dialogue. After the one almost entire page long of him just screaming it at Michael. God. That's so goofy.
I love it. I love Freddy.
I think he might be the only part of the movie I enjoy.
He's definitely the part I enjoy the most, but I honestly, it is mostly him. And the absurdity of the whole concept of the plot.
Yeah, that's fair. It is fair. It is incredibly absurd.
So yeah, he gets
Michael turns and
Michael
goes
leaves,
back to the kitchen.
And I guess he's gonna go do his job.
I guess so.
Freddy says, "Gosh dang, what the hell is somebody gotta do to get a little decent help in this mother obscenity here?" Back to the basement. It's basement. Jim says,
"Gosh dang, let's go find Freddy. This is bull poop."
Jim leaves as Donna stays to put her top back on and get her gear all situated. She hears some bricks shifting further in the fake hole.
Oh.
Donna calls out, "Hey Jim, you gotta see this." She heads in and finds Michael's actual secret hideaway tunnels. She gets jump scared by a rat scurrying by. Donna sees some rat carcasses and says, "Hey, Freddy, is this all part of the setup?" She sees a weird doll that has screws for its eyes. She sees a news clipping about Laurie. "Laurie Strode, sister of Michael Myers, survives Halloween night massacre." She sees another rat carcass and says, "Huh, nice prop." She goes over to touch it, but it squeaks and convulses because it's still alive. She screams and the power in the tunnel goes out. "Oh my god! Is anybody else seeing this? Jim?" She turns and sees Michael and lets out a big scream. "Ah!" She runs away from him, down the tunnel as the Halloween theme kicks in. She reaches a dead end and an old metal fence, and it has a bar sticking out of it. Donna yells, "Help! Somebody help! Someone help! Oh my god, this isn't funny anymore!" Michael starts to close in. Michael grabs her, and after some struggles, pushes her back, impaling her on the protruding bar. Michael turns and walks away. We cut back to the party, and Scott says,
"That was so fake."
No, wait, you guys, that really just happened. She was just killed." Everyone laughs at him. "Man, you're gullible." A female voice. We'll say it's Teen Girl number 2 is what it's supposed to say, not Teen Girl number 3. That's not a character. So, yeah, Teen Girl number 2 says this, I guess.
"Get out of here."
We cut to Jen and Rudy hitting a bong. Rudy says, "It's a good thing there's no cameras in here." "Ha ha ha! We're wearing cameras." They both laugh. We cut to Sarah in the living room, flipping through a book. Possibly a photo album. It looks kind of like a photo album, but they never show any photos, so it's just a book for all we know officially.
Yeah. Leather-bound book.
Yeah, with the way like the pages look too, it felt like a photo album.
Yeah, it's probably.
Michael walks out of the shadows behind her. She turns around and screams. We'll dub it in later. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She runs away and yells.
Yeah.
She runs away and yells.
No.
She runs
Michael's
away
here.
and yells.
I saw him. He's in the house. He's here.
Rudy comes out of the smoke-filled room and says, "Girl, what's going on? What are you talking about here? Don't do this, girl. You're bringing me down on this beautiful evening. There's nobody here. You're just bugging out again."
It's not funny, okay?
Stop it, okay?
He's down in that room.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in the house. There's no Michael Myers here. There's nobody.
Listen, I saw him right over there.
He's in here. Oh, Michael Myers. Where's Michael Myers? Michael Myers. I don't see nothing.
He was in here.
You're bringing me down.
Rudy, I saw...
But she's cut off by her own scream when she's grabbed from behind by Michael Myers. Jim hits Michael in the head from behind, taking him down to the floor and releasing Sarah.
Obscenity here.
As he raises his arms for another shot, Michael says, "Whoa, whoa, turn off the cameras." The feed to all the cameras gets turned off. We cut to the party reacting. Back to the house where Freddy takes off the mask and says, It's me, Freddy."
Freddy.
"Yeah,
What the obscenity are you doing?
dang, man. You hit me like I murdered your obscenian mother. Or something. Relax, man. I'm only trying to give America a good show." "Oh,
Okay.
that's me."
Oh, that is you.
"Okay, so none of the poop is real, right? Like the furniture, the photos, all the obscenity up toys?"
It's all fake. We've been set up. You know you didn't have a show anyone would watch, so you set us all up on our own obscenity expense, huh?
"What expense are you talking about? You ain't contributed a dime to setting up none of this poop. Besides, don't nobody want to see any of y'all run around now empty."
No.
Huh?
No, empty.
No, empty, possibly coming up with nothing any dang way. America don't like reality, first of all. Second of all, they think this poop is boring. You know what I mean? They want a little razzle-dazzle, a little pizzazz, a little thrill in their life, you know? And us being the ones to give it to them, I don't see anything wrong with that.
I so did not sign up for this.
Y'all need to do me a favor, alright? Just go along with the poop. Don't blow it now. Do you really have no idea of how nicely it worked out? So that we can all receive somewhat of a robust back end when this poop is all over? Now, I don't know what you want to do about your share, but please don't obscenity up for me. I want my money, alright? No, if you don't mind, I'd like to go scare the poop out of some more of these mother obscenityers. So, I'm gonna get cracking. How's it cracking, audience?
It's your favorite thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Y'all do what the obscenity y'all gotta do. See y'all. Back to the party. Oh. Back to the party. Where now that Freddy is gone, the feeds are back up. Teen girl number 2 asks.
We have it.
French maid, is that me? Alright.
It's also me.
No, it's me. Oh, it's you.
Oh.
It is you.
It is me. I remember saying that I'm French maid.
Doesn't make sense, though. I definitely should have been French maid, but it's okay.
And she's not actually French, but
No.
she will be here.
Oh, okay.
Alright, turn up the sound.
Someone, we'll say teen party guy, because why not, asks, "Where'd everybody go?" Back to the house, and Jen finally leaves the hotbox. She hears creaking coming from the attic door. "Fuck! There you are, pal! We cut back downstairs where Rudy asks, what do you guys want to do?
I mean, I don't know. I could use the money.
No, send me that. I'm out.
Me too. I quit.
We cut back to Jen, who opens the door/ladder to the attic. She screams, "Ah!" when she finds Bill's dead body on the ladder.
Ah! She must be going for the first internet Emmy.
Jen walks over to the top of the stairs.
You can't scare us, Jen. You're gonna have to do better than that.
Michael walks out from the room next to Jen.
You too, Freddy.
Michael then chops off Jen's head, and it rolls down the stairs. We cut to the party, and Teen Girl asks. Teen Girl number 2.
How did you do that?
Some digital effects. No, it isn't. He picks up a phone and says, "Hello? 911?" Back to the Myers house. While Michael walks down the stairs.
Sarah says, "Oh my god!
They try the front door, but it's locked.
It's locked!"
The three of them run to the living room. Rudy,
We run to the living room. Oh, sorry.
No, that's not actually a thing. Rudy starts trying to break one of the nailed shut windows. Jim grabs one of the stationary cameras and hits Michael with it. It doesn't do much. Michael takes his knife and stabs the wall. Rudy yells, "Jim, run! Run!" Jim does not. And Michael grabs him by the head and crushes his skull to death.
True. Classic Michael squeezing a head to death.
I think we've only seen it like this only the second time, but yeah, classic. I mean, it was in 4, and that's it. But yeah, classic.
One of the things that he does.
It is. Like the ninja grab.
I'll add that to the list of ninja grab. Yep.
Yeah, very classic.
Michael.
Classic Michael. Ninja grab. Sarah runs away, heading up the stairs. Michael grabs his knife and starts to pursue her. The stairs Sarah is standing on breaks, trapping her. She's only saved because at the bottom of the stairs, Rudy calls out, "Hey, Michael! Yeah, I'm talking to you. You want a piece of me?" Michael turns around and follows Rudy. Sarah frees herself.
He did want a piece.
Yeah. Sarah frees herself and
runs up the stairs and barricades herself in a room.
There it is. Rudy leads Michael into the kitchen and says, "You should try a little less protein in your diet, you know? Control some of that aggression, huh?" Michael starts slashing.
Yeah, he's got to be a dietitian. Or studying to be one.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I felt like he was just like in culinary school. Or, like the culinary department. Like, I don't know if he was even
that's true.
Because he was like just working in the kitchen earlier.
It is true.
I mean, I guess a dietitian could be, but I just...
Yeah, he could be a dietitian and a chef.
Yeah.
Michael starts slashing towards Rudy.
Yeah. And Rudy says something, I'm sure.
Picks up a rolling pin.
He picks up a rolling pin and hits Michael with it. This has Michael stumble back a bit. Rudy then takes a spice out of the spice cabinet and throws it into Michael's eyes. Rudy then arms himself with 2 steak knives. He slashes towards Michael, saying, "Want some of this, huh?" Quick cut to Miles on the phone saying, "Look, I know what 911 is for, alright? This is an emergency. It's not a hoax." Back to Rudy and Michael. Rudy still swinging the knives at Michael, who dodges them. "Mother obscenity? Come on. You trying to obscenity and kill me? Come on. You like sushi, mother obscenity, huh? You gonna obscenity and kill me?" Rudy runs over to the back door, and it's locked. So he says, "Oh, poop." He goes to stab Michael, who has him cornered, but Michael catches his wrist. Rudy tries the other knife, but Michael catches his wrist as well. Michael then slams Rudy's arms down, stabbing him with the knives. Michael lifts Rudy and pins him to the door to the dining room. Michael does a quick head tilt. Then Michael walks over to the drawer and pulls out the big knife Rudy showed Sarah earlier. He takes it over to Rudy and stabs him in the chest with it. Michael then opens the door and heads into the other room, which I thought was a fun little addition to the Bob homage kill. The opening of the door, the little comedic moment almost of him opening the door that the guy's hanging on. I liked it.
Fair.
And also, this time, there were 3 knives. That's more than one.
That's more. Yeah.
Or a gun. was only one gun in 4.
That is true.
But also, that's not canon in this timeline. So actually, that didn't happen. There's only the one stab, actually.
Yeah.
And then there's the unbreakable pen that was able to pick up the nurse.
That is true. Yeah.
That is actually the
really
most
good
unbelievable thing in the whole franchise.
Yeah.
Pen.
It's a good pen.
It's a really good pen. I want that pen.
It's a very nice pen.
I probably couldn't afford that pen. So yeah, he's on the wall. Then Michael walks over to... already said that.
Yeah.
He leaves the door. Fun kill. There we go. Back up to Sarah, who goes up to the camera in the room she's at and says...
Somebody out there, please help us. Somebody, please help us.
Quick cut to the party where TG2...
She really is a very talented actress.
Back to Sarah, who pulls out her Palm Pilot and then says to the camera...
Deckard, if you're there, please let me know.
At the party, Scott asks...
Who's Deckard? Remember when I asked this question earlier in the movie?
He forgot, okay? He answers it himself, though. Your line's not over.
Who's Deckard? Miles is Deckard.
Sarah gets a message that says, Deckard here.
Deckard, he's killing all of us. He's killing us. He's killing his dad.
Look, there he is.
Tell her he's coming up the stairs.
A different girl, but for simplicity, we'll say it's the French maid, says.
This isn't funny anymore, guys. Do something.
Sarah gets a message that says, he's coming up the stairs. We cut to Michael in the hallway. Another message reads, hallway, don't scream. She proceeds to start to scream, but muffles it with her hand. Michael still hears her and turns to walk towards the room she's in. A message says, try the window. Sarah starts to crawl out the window as Michael tries to get through the barricade door. She closes the window behind her. Michael bursts through the door and looks around for Sarah. He then sees the window and heads towards it with his knife raised. He bursts his head through the glass and Sarah punt kicks his face.
Nice.
Yeah, Michael cuts Sarah in the back of the leg as she tries to crawl up to a higher part of the roof. She then heads into the attic. A message comes in that says, I can't see you. Sarah turns on her flashlight and takes off her head cam to point it at her face. Just don't whistle. It's okay. You just say the line, Chris. Please just...
Deckard, where is he?
Hallway. She puts on the head cam back on and raises her flashlight to see Charlie's dead body. A message comes in and says, he's in his old bedroom.
Tell her to go. Now's her chance.
Come on, go. Go now. She climbs down over Bill's body and to the second floor. I will say this is the point where there is a shot that is definitely from Bill's camera, but I don't know if it's a stylistic movie moment, because there are a lot of times where we're seeing things through the cameras of the world, and I don't know if it's specifically because that's what, like, they're them watching a scene, or if it's just a aesthetic choice. So I don't know for sure if this camera is somehow magically active or not, or if it is just, you know, a choice from the camera.
Yeah.
Bum. She tries to walk as carefully as possible over to the stairs. She's then grabbed from behind and pulled into the room. It's Freddy, who whispers, my God, everybody's dead. Where is he?
I don't know.
We gotta get the obscenity out of here. Now. Come on, let's go. They start their way to the stairs, stepping over Jen's decapitated body. When Michael comes out of the doorway, Freddy spears Michael into the other room. Michael grabs Freddy by his shoulders, and Freddy says, oh, poop! Michael tosses him across the room. Freddy gets up and says, he, like, cracks his neck, pretty much. So, you want to be on Dangertainment? Let's see what you got. Freddy then jumps up and spin kicks Michael's head with the traditional "Hey-ya!" Freddy goes for another kick, but Michael catches his foot. Sarah runs over with a camera cord and wraps around Michael's neck. Michael swings around wildly before knocking Sarah off his back onto the bed. Freddy yells, "Yo, Mike! Come see me, Michael! Come and see me! Look at me!" A bunch of kung fu noises. "You want to obscenity with me? Huh? You mother obscenier? Hi-ya!" And he does a big kick to the chest that sends Michael crashing out the window, and the cord gets caught, so he's now hanging by the neck. I'll pause here to say that this is a very maligned scene that a lot of people very much hate. And I love it. I think it's comedy gold. Seeing Busta Rhymes kung fu kick Michael is not something it's not something I ever knew I needed to see, but I'm happy that I have seen it. Some people don't like it because, it ruins the mystique of Michael, whatever. I don't care. I think it's funny. I think it's stupid. It's silly fun. And that's really my thoughts on this movie in general, is it's just stupid, silly fun. And this scene exemplifies that. But a lot of people hate it. And that is definitely the consensus online, is that it's terrible and it's one of the worst movies in the franchise. I don't agree. But I will move on.
Fair.
Sarah stands up and Freddy says, "Let's get out of here. Come on. You alright? I saw his room. He's been living underneath this obscenity house for who knows how long. Probably the last 20 years. Come on." Now at the bottom of the staircase, Freddy says, "I swear, on my soul, I had no idea. I swear." Sarah gets a message that says, "He's still alive." "Oh, poop. Come on, let's go."
Oh my god. He cut the cable.
"What the obscenity is he? This is bad."
Deckard, where is he?
"In the house." In a moment that is supposed to be scary, but is the most hilarious moment, they pan to show Michael standing right behind them. Like, it wasn't, like, there's a lot of this movie that I think is genuinely meant to be funny. This is not a moment that was meant to be funny. But something, and I don't really know how to explain why, but just the way the shot pans and Michael just standing there in between them practically is one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and I love it.
Yeah. It is pretty silly.
Michael stabs Freddy twice in the shoulder. Freddy yells, "Run!" before falling lifelessly to the floor. Michael pursues Sarah, who's running away. She goes through the dining room into the kitchen and tries the back door. It's still locked. So she turns around and screams when she sees Rudy's dead body pinned to the door. And then we'll dub in a scream because Chris can't scream and neither can she. She then starts running again. She heads into the basement and then into the hatch. Michael doesn't see where she goes, but does hear when she stumbles off the ladder. She heads into Michael's hidey tunnel. She's on the final girl circuit, so she finds Donna's body. She turns the other direction, starts to run back, but sees Michael. So she runs back towards Donna's body. She starts to climb a ladder to a different exit, but Michael grabs her, getting a chance to cut her ankle before she can kick him back and climb out. She's now in the garage and starts to throw things on top of the exit to barricade it. One of the things she puts in the pile is a lawnmower, which starts to leak some gasoline onto the floor.
Oh, I
Wonder
wonder
if
if
that would
that
be
will come into play immediately.
It's like 2 minutes.
I'd
One,
say that's pretty immediate.
yeah. One of the things she put, I already said that. She backs up into the control center setup, but slips and falls on the giant pool of blood. Sarah looks up and sees that Nora is shrunk from the ceiling. Because, you know why? Because Michael is a good listener. And Michael was told by Freddy to go to the garage and do your job. What's Michael's job? Killing people. So he went to the garage and killed Nora.
Kill Nora.
He's like, go deal with her. And he's like, all right, okay, I'll go deal with her first. All right. You look just like me. I guess you're like my conscience is probably what Michael was thinking.
Probably.
Bum.
She
sees Michael by the front of the
comes in,
garage.
Sarah hides.
Not yet.
No.
You skipped a line. She sees Michael by the front of the garage, so she tries to go out the back door of the garage, but it's locked. Before Michael comes in, she hides. Michael sees himself on the screens, which lets him know where Sarah is hiding, because she's still wearing her headcam. But before Michael can capitalize on this knowledge, Sarah pops out of the hiding spot with a chainsaw.
You bad fatherless child. This is for Jen.
She hits him in the chest, sending him reeling back.
This is for Rudy.
She swings again. Michael tries to block it with his knife, but she does still end up hitting him in the chest again.
For all of them.
Michael steps back behind the cables for the broadcast. Sarah still tries to bring the chainsaw down on him, cutting through the wires, causing them to send sparks into the air. One of the sparks lights the gasoline on fire. The chainsaw stops.
Oh, poop.
She tries to get it started again. Michael starts walking towards her. She throws the chainsaw at him, knocking him back a bit. The fire has followed a trail of gasoline to the lawnmower, which explodes. The explosion knocks Sarah and Michael down. The shed is starting to go up in flames. Sarah comes to first, but can't get up quickly because there's a soundboard on her, as well as a cart. At first I just saw the soundboard, I was like, soundboards are like 30 pounds. What's wrong with you? There is also a cart, which is also probably not that heavy, but there was more than just... At first I just saw the soundboard, I'm like, soundboards aren't that heavy. Just get up. But there is also a cart pinning her down, so there is a little bit more stuff on her to explain.
I mean, a soundboard crashing down onto your leg would suck.
It would hurt, but I still feel like she can't move. I feel like you could push that off.
Yeah, you could definitely push it off.
But
yeah.
when you add the cart, maybe it was pinned in a way where she can't.
Look, all I'm saying is I could fall from a second-story window and get up.
But you could not
but
get
the
up.
Soundboard would be a little bit hard.
I love it. No problem. But I'm like, I don't know, a soundboard. And you're like, whoa, I said a soundboard.
Have you ever had a 30-pound object fall on your kneecap?
Have you ever fell out of a 2-story building?
Yeah. Fairly recently, actually. I have.
You're a liar.
I do look forward to doing it one day.
At our first ever live show, whenever that, it probably end up won't being our first ever live show, just because that'll probably be at like some sort of convention or something. But at some point, we will do it, and we'll probably do it safer than Chris thinks he can. And he's still probably gonna not feel great after it.
Yeah, but I'll do it.
We'll probably have like a crash pad, and he'll still like come up bruised and be like, oh, and have trouble
I
moving.
will make you cover that crash pad in mud.
I don't think
at the very least.
I don't know. I think that might actually make it worse than just the crash pad, Chris.
No, it will, but I need it to be as closely simulated to real life. Falling onto dirt. Well, actually not dirt, because I said the mud.
No, so I guess when we know crash pad, guys, we're just gonna throw Chris onto mud.
I mean, okay, man. I mean, the surface tension would absolutely still suck.
Also, like, I don't want to go into this again, but you watch that scene, and yes, there is some mud there, but it's not a lot of mud. It's basically like an inch or two of mud on top of just dirt. So it's not just, the surface. You're just going to hit the ground. You're just hitting the ground.
Make it a good tuck and roll, and I'll be fine.
No. You said you could do exactly what she did, which was just fall on her back. No tucking and rolling. You're not allowed to do that. That is not what was agreed upon.
That is true.
So yeah, back to the movie. This one. She throws they both explode. There's a thing on her.
Freddy says,
not yet.
So.
Well, he's not even here yet.
Oh, yeah.
Michael does his sit-up and looks over at her. He grabs his knife and stands up. He starts walking towards her. Michael raises his knife over his head, and boom! The back door to the room is kicked down by Freddy. Freddy says, "Trick or treat, mother obscenity!" He then grabs a shovel and swings it at Michael. It knocks Michael back a few feet and breaks, leaving only the pole part of it. Freddy starts spitting the shovel piece like it's a bow staff or something. He's just like, look, I'm cool, because he's cool.
Yeah.
Michael looks confused, which, fair, honestly. Freddy hits Michael twice in the face. Michael grabs the third swing and starts to lower the shovel. No. Michael pushes Freddy so hard he goes flying back into the wall with a shelf falling on him. Michael walks over and raises his knife, but Freddy comes to and grabs some wires and electrocutes Michael in the balls until he falls backwards and gets tangled up in the wires. Freddy then throws the wire at Michael's feet, electrocuting him some more. Freddy says, "Burn, mother obscenity, burn." Well, Sarah. He runs over and unburies Sarah and picks her up to carry her out of the garage. Right before he leaves, Freddy says, "Hey, Mikey, Happy obscenity and Halloween. I love Freddy so much. Like,
That's fair.
this dialogue, yes, it's terrible. I'm pretty sure it's all from Busta Rhymes' head. But Busta Rhymes has enough charisma that when he delivers this lines, I go, yeah, Busta Rhymes.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, happy obscenity and Halloween, yeah. Now with another kung fu kick. Do it for Wat Chun Li. Whoever that is.
He loves watching Lee.
The police and firemen arrive. This is the point where I'm going to list off all the different people who are credited as police or firemen. Officer is played by Kelly Nielsen. Also credited as officer, we have our makeup effects creator, Gary J. Tunnicliffe. We also have Police Officer 2, who is played by an uncredited Michael Arthur. We have Arresting Officer, which doesn't even really make sense, because there would be no one gets arrested at all in this movie. But Arresting Officer is played by an uncredited Artine Tony Brown of 2 episodes of Supernatural alongside Horror Boy alums Jared Padalecki of Friday the 13th, 2009 and Rob Lobel of Wes Craven's New Nightmare and Jack Frost.
No.
Fireman is played by Chris Edwards. Also, on IMDb, there is also Fireman, who is played by an uncredited Robert Musnicki, who has done more work in special effects, like in Wicker Man 2006, Blair Witch, Summer of '84, The Good Doctor, Under Wraps remake, and over 90 Lifetime or Hallmark TV movies, including Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever, alongside Horror Boy alums Daniel Roebuck of The Final Destination, David James Lewis of Child's Play 2019, and Aubrey Plaza, also of Child's Play 2019.
Right.
Sarah gets a message that says, "You're alive." She looks around to try and see Deckard, and gets another message that says, "We can see you on the news." A bunch of news reporters walk over and start to talk to Sarah. Sarah looks at the camera and says,
Thank you, Deckard. You saved my life.
We get a shot of the party celebrating. A reporter
asks,
which is number 1. This is me. You're number 2. Which is the woman one you did earlier.
Why is the woman number 2?
Because she's the second one to talk in this scene.
Ah.
She's actually the only one even kind of credited.
Right.
It's uncredited, but she's the only one who even has anything on the IMDb about it. But yeah, so reporter says, I lost my place. A reporter says,
What does it feel like to be a hero?
what does it feel? Give me a second. I'll find it. See on the news. Try to different report. Nope. First reporter.
What does it feel like to be?
What does it feel like to be a hero, Sarah? This is
Excuse
report
me.
2.
How does it feel now that it's all over? What makes you sure I had a stroke, sorry. What makes you so sure it's over?
Freddy walks over. Excuse me. No more cameras. Dangertainment is off the air. Why don't y'all show some respect? Mr. Harris, would you like to make a statement?
I'm glad that our voice for the third reporter was the same. I wasn't sure if I was third reporter,
you're
but I
only
was
2.
going to do the same voice.
Yeah, no. Okay.
What can you tell us about Michael Myers?
Michael Myers is not a soundbite, a spin-off, a tie-in, some kind of celebrity scandal. Michael Myers is a killer shark in baggy butt overalls that gets his kicks off killing everything and everyone that he comes across. That's all. Wasn't that a pretty good soundbite about who Michael Myers was? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We're done dancing for these cameras. I think I lost that. Yeah. Let's get out of here, Sarah. But how are you feeling right now? Huh. How am I feeling now? You want to know how I'm feeling right now? Feel this! And he shoves the cameraman away. 2 firemen are wheeling away Michael's body.
That's him, isn't it? I want to see his face.
I want to warn you, ma'am. It's not a pretty sight. All right. He shows them, but not the audience.
Yeah.
Freddy says, Wow, you're looking a little crispy over there, Mikey. Like some chicken fried mother obscenity. Well, may he never, ever rest in peace. We cut to Michael being wheeled into the coroner's office by two men. Only the one about to have lines is credited. He is the orderly, which I wouldn't notice. He is kind of dressed like an orderly, but I don't think orderlies are typically the people who would wheel in a dead body to the coroner, but whatever. He is kind of dressed like an orderly, and there was definitely no orderlies in the actual mental asylum earlier. And he also, I tried to figure out, and like the guy looked kind of like an older version of this guy, so I think he was credited as orderly. But yeah, he is credited, and he's played by Michael McCartney.
No?
The coroner is played by, and this is not a typo, unless it is on IMDb, Ananda Thorson. Not Amanda, Ananda. It could be a typo on IMDb, but on IMDb, it is Ananda. And I was like, oh, okay. Never heard that name, but, you know, it might be her name or her IMDb is wrong.
That is fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either's possible.
Bum. Who's who? I'm the orderly.
Bum.
Hey, how's it going? She's a woman.
You gotta be kidding me. Another one?
It's your lucky night. You got a celebrity.
Oh, let me get my autograph book.
That is ooh, but fair enough.
Ooh, let me get my autograph book.
I'm not kidding. It's Michael Myers.
What?
Get me a copy of that autograph. And the door closes.
Yeah, sure.
She slowly walks over and opens the bag. We see Michael's chicken fried mask, and he opens his eyes, and we head to our credits.
Ah, he's not dead. Yeah.
But also, this is the end of this timeline, so he might as well be.
Yep, sure is. Thank goodness.
Wow.
Because I'm not sure where they would have gone with it from here.
Honestly, I would have been kind of intrigued, just Michael just doing things that are completely unconnected to anything else. I like Michael as a character, and I just like slasher films. So if you just give me a slasher I recognize in a slasher film, I'm cool with that, and that's what this is. I like this movie. It's fun. It's stupid. I love Freddy. I love the absurdity of the fact that Michael Myers is on a reality television show for this whole movie. That's the movie. That's the movie we're making is, what if Michael Myers killed people on a reality television show? That's so stupid. And I love all of it. Like, here's the thing. Fundamentally, yes, this movie is bad. I get it. I do. But I don't even, like, enjoy this, like, ironically, like, it's so bad, it's good. For the most part, there's a few times like that. For the most part, I just enjoy this for the stupid comedy that I think most of it is supposed to be. Like, everything that Freddy says, I think is supposed to be stupid funny. I don't think there was a writer in the world who went, I'm gonna make Busta Rhymes kung fu kick Michael Myers. And then the other writer next to him was like, yes, that is a very good idea. He was like, it was a laugh. It was a fun moment. They meant for that to be silly and stupid. Now, if that's not what you want from Halloween, I get it. I do. But I love this movie. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
He doesn't, guys.
No, I don't. I did not find most of it fun. I did enjoy it when Busta Rhymes was on the screen. And it really did feel like this was the Busta Rhymes Halloween movie. Because Freddy is literally the hero of the film and not the final show. Which just felt very backwards.
Yeah, totally.
Especially since he's the one who kind of, got everyone into the situation.
Yeah.
So that didn't really make sense story-wise, making him the hero. But they did. And there's a lot of things that didn't make sense story-wise. A lot. But it is what it is. You guys have probably watched the movie. Complaining about the plot of the movie would be silly because, I mean, the holes are pretty evident if you've watched it at all. My biggest gripes are honestly just the sound design is so grating to me. And that they didn't make Busta Rhymes the final girl from the beginning. And that is my review of Halloween Resurrection. Resurrection, yeah.
All right. Well, we did it. We've made it through the second timeline of, well, technically third if you want to count Halloween 3 as its own timeline, but whatever. The second timeline of the Halloween franchise. It's time for the third timeline. It's time for the reboot timeline. It's time...
Definitely not the last hot timeline.
No.
Can't wait till we get a fifth timeline.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people on the internet, they really want like a sequel directly to Halloween 4, and I'm down. I want it.
Give me a scene to directly Halloween 3. It's the sequel no one's asking for.
I don't hate that movie, but I don't need...
I do.
Yeah, I know. I didn't hate that movie, but I don't need more in that world. Because also, I'm pretty sure the world's over in that world.
It did explode.
They didn't take off the third one.
True.
They didn't take it off the air. Take it. They didn't do it. It went. The third one was broadcast. Everyone is dead. Well, all the kids. But next week we're talking about another movie that either you love or you hate. This last movie is a movie that, for the most part, is just hated. The one we just watched. I'm one of the people who likes it, but it is overall a hated movie. It is a very maligned movie, personally, of the ones I've seen. Spoiler: I do actually think it's my third favorite of the whole franchise. For me, it goes the original 4, then this one. I love this. It's so much fun and so stupid. Then probably H2O, and that's about it. Halloween 2 is fine. It's just a little boring to me. But that was in the whole Halloween review. That's not today. We kind of do that at the end of it, maybe. Maybe I'll break down my order then. I don't know. Because there's also movies I haven't seen. Like, the next one we're watching next week, Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah.
And, by the way, if you are one of those people who watches the movie, like, with us, you gotta find the theatrical cut. Because we're watching at least I am. Chris was supposed to... I told Chris weeks ago to buy a DVD. So if he didn't, he might be watching the director's cut. But we will not be covering the director's cut. I will be watching the theatrical cut, and I will be the one taking the notes. And we will be watching the theatrical cut because one of the things Rob Zombie chose to add in the first movie was something that I have no desire to cover.
That's fair.
So, yeah. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Oh, wait, that's not how that ends. I lied. We lied to you. It's not goodbye. Because first, I have to say, if you like this podcast, please leave a 5-star review on whatever podcast app you use. If you would like to see our pretty little faces, youtube.com/@horrorboys. If you want to support us directly, patreon.com/horrorboys. I've been Austin, joined by Chris as always. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
For real this time.